practice session of present continuous tense to further strengthen our concepts. Okay? अपने कॉन्सेप्ट को और भी अच्छे से समझने के लिए हम आज के सेशन में पूरा प्रैक्टिस करेंगे. सो आई होप एवरीबडी इज रेडी. उससे पहले मैं थोड़ा इंट्रोडक्शन भी दूंगी, but we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes till more people join in, and then we'll start our session. Okay? I request all the pro members to kindly join me on the call. और जिन लोगों के पास pro membership नहीं है, जो chat box से हमें join कर रहे हैं, अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आप अपना membership upgrade करें, so if you want to upgrade your membership to pro, I am dropping the invite here in the chat box. Please check that. The code for discount is Manisha 10. Okay, so I'll explain in both Hindi and English. So just be a little patient, and if you still don't understand, you can ask me your doubts and I'll clarify them for you. Okay, so hi. How can I get pro membership? So Nitin, you have to go into the link that I just gave, Hello English /pro purchase, and you can use the code Manisha 10 for discount, and you can take whatever plan you want from here. Okay.
Good evening.
Okay. Good evening. So right. So let us start our session. Everybody, I hope sab tayar hai. I hope everybody is ready. So like I said, in today's class, we are going to practice present continuous tense. Okay. So let me just give a brief introduction. So there are 3 types of tenses: past, present, and future. Okay. So bhutkal, vartman kal, and bhavishya kal. So each tense is again divided into 4 types. Okay. सो हर एक टेंस फिर से हम उसको 4 टाइप्स में उसको डिवाइड करेंगे. एंड व्हाट आर दोस 4 टाइप्स? सिंपल और इंडेफिनिट. ओके, यू कैन कॉल इट एनीथिंग. सो या तो सिंपल और इंडेफिनिट, कंटिन्यूअस या प्रोग्रेसिव टेंस. ओके, perfect tense and perfect continuous tense. So simple tense is without any complication. आपकी कोई for example कोई आदत है, something that you repeat in general, so that will be simple present tense. Okay, so simple क्या होता है? मैं करता हूँ, मैं करूँगा, मैंने किया. So without any further complication, you are just making a statement. Then that is called a simple or indefinite statement. Okay. Next, it is continuous. Continuous क्या होता है? अगर आप किस समय की बात कर रहे हैं, उस समय में अगर वो एक्शन जारी है, चल रहा है, then we will say continuous. So at any point of time that you're talking about, if the action is still going on, then it is called a continuous tense. Okay. Next, a perfect tense. So at that point of time, if that action is already completed, then it is perfect tense. Perfect continuous is started थोड़ी देर पहले and is still continuing, that is perfect continuous. Okay, so simply put, ये एक brief introduction था सारे tenses का. Now let us come to present continuous tense. Okay, can anybody tell me what the topic is? What the structure of present continuous tense is?
Yeah, ma'am. Subject plus is/am/are.
Yes.
Verb plus ing plus object.
Very good. So subject plus is/am/are plus verb plus ing form plus object. Okay. So okay. So कोई भी sentence आपको बनानी है तो let me just paste the structure here, ताकि अगर आपको कोई सेंटेंस बनानी है then you have it for reference. Okay, so please सब लोग अपने chat box में देखें. I have given the structure of the sentence. Okay, so subject plus is or am or are. Okay, wo uska, that you will use depending on the subject, plus V1 plus ing plus object. Okay, so I am doing my homework. He is eating his breakfast. She is dancing to her favorite song. Okay, so this is all in continuous tense. So the action is happening in the present. Okay, great. Now what we'll do is we will start looking at the slides. We'll start answering questions and we will start practicing the concept further. Okay, great. So next, let us just look at any doubts that we have. Please be attention on study is wrong. Okay, so please pay attention or please be attentive. That is fine, but please be attention on study is wrong. Okay, please be attentive or please pay attention to your studies, not on study. Please pay attention to your studies.
Okay, ma'am.
Great. I'm attending your class. Yes, so that is also present continuous. He's going to the market, Nitin. So please check. You'll say he's going to the market. Next, it will going tomorrow. Okay, it will going tomorrow. The sentence itself is wrong. So it will be going tomorrow is future. Okay, so please check the structure and then you'll get to know which tense it is automatically. Okay, so okay, let's start our questions then. Let's look at the first slide. Just a second. Okay, so we have a lot of people on the call today. Good thing. So okay, so let's start the session.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for asking. Okay. So मैं राम के साथ नहीं खेल रहा हूँ. I am not playing with Ram. So present continuous में जब नेगेटिव सेंटेंस बनानी होती है, नकारात्मक, वाक्यों में क्रिया के साथ ing लगता है और क्रिया के पहले not लगता है. Okay, so continuous में we will use the ing form of the verb, and if we are making a negative sentence, तो not हम लोग verb के सामने लगाते हैं. So I am not playing with Ram. I am not doing my homework. Okay, so is this rule clear for everybody?
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Should we start our practice session then?
Yes, ma'am.
So चलिए शुरू करते हैं. Let's start all of you. Yeah. बाहर बारिश नहीं हो रही है. So for all the people who do not understand Hindi, please look at the options and try to find out which is the correct sentence. Okay, so
Second one, ma'am.
yes, very good. It's not raining outside. So it is from it's not raining outside. So this is a negative present continuous tense sentence. हम मार्केट से घर नहीं आ रहे हैं. Okay, so yes.
One.
Exactly. The third one, we are not coming home from the market. So ing form will use in continuous tense, and also the not will come in front of the verb. So before the verb, so we are not coming home from the market. Also, like I said in yesterday's class, home की पहले हम लोग to नहीं लगाते हैं. Okay, so हम लोग जैसे हिंदी में बोलते मैं घर नहीं जा रही. So simply I am not going home. Okay, will not say I am not going to home. So to नहीं लगाते वहां पे. So please all of you make note of that. Okay, please remember this. I am listening to music. Is that correct present continuous? Yes, David, that's a correct way of using present continuous. Why did not you are attending class first civil? Okay, Arpita, that is a very complicated sentence. I don't know what that means. We are not coming home from the market. Very good. Okay. So I see a lot of correct answers. So chaliye, let's move forward. In case there's any doubt about the ongoing slide or ongoing topic, then you can ask me and I'll clarify it for you. Okay. So please don't hesitate to ask me your doubts. Next. तुम राम के साथ खेल रहे हो. You are playing with Ram. Present continuous tense के प्रश्नवाचक वाक्यों में is, am, are से वाक्य शुरू होता है और अंत में क्वेश्चन मार्क लगाया जाता है. ओके, सो यू आर प्लेइंग विथ राम, दिस इज द सेंटेंस. अगर इसको मुझे क्वेश्चन में कन्वर्ट करना है, इफ आई हैव टू कन्वर्ट दिस इनटू अ क्वेश्चन, I will take the helping verb are and I will bring it to the beginning of the sentence. So are you playing with Ram? And instead of full stop, मैं वहां पे question mark लगाऊंगी because it is a question. Okay. So अगर I'll repeat it in Hindi. So अगर मुझे question form में इसी sentence को बनाना है, तो वहां का जो helping verb है is, am, are जो हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं, उसको मैं सब्जेक्ट के आगे ले आऊंगी. आई विल ब्रिंग दैट टू द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द सेंटेंस एंड एंड में मैं एक क्वेश्चन मार्क बनाऊंगी. सो यू आर प्लेइंग विद राम का क्वेश्चन फॉर्म होगा आर यू प्लेइंग विद राम. इज दिस क्लियर?
यस मैम.
ही इज गोइंग टू द मार्केट, इसका क्वेश्चन फॉर्म क्या होगा?
Is he going to the market?
Exactly. Is he going to the market? Very good. Next, are you teaching me? Yes. So you are teaching me. Are you teaching me? Very good. Next, yeah. So let's look at the next question. क्या तुम सो रहे हो?
I'm the second one. Are you sleeping?
Are you sleeping? Priyanshu, what did you not understand? So please specify and I will try to clarify that doubt for you. Okay, so okay, next. वे अंदर नहीं जा रहे हैं.
Ma'am, fourth.
Exactly, fourth. We are talking about the present continuous tense. तो present की बात हो रही है. So I will not use the past forms like was and were. Okay, I will stick to is, am, are. So they is plural. They के साथ are लगता है. So they are not going inside. Okay. So I see a lot of wrong answers also. So if there are any doubts, can we ask someone that are you sleeping while he's sleeping? Sure. Is he going to the market? Are you still working here? Yes. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. आकाश में पतंग नहीं उड़ रही है.
Ma'am, the first one. The kite is not flying in the sky.
Very good. Bhavan, okay, Bhavna Tyagi, are you coming to my house tomorrow? Okay, home usually अगर आप और आपके साथ रहने वाले जब घर की बात करते हैं, then you will say home. Otherwise, if you're talking to somebody else about your ghar, you will say house. Okay, are you coming to my house tomorrow? Otherwise, you can simply say, are you coming home tomorrow? Okay, so Bhavna, please check your question. Coming के बाद कुछ नहीं लगा के सीधा आप home लगा सकते हो. Otherwise, are you coming to my house tomorrow? Okay, so I hope that is clear. Nitin, we are going to learn something new. So you missed an R in your spelling. Lean ban gaya, so please check that also. Yeah, great. So let's move on to the next slide. dash to London. So we are asking a question. So how are we framing the question?
Are we flying?
Yes, are we flying to London? So flying, usually plane journey के लिए we can use the word flying. Okay, I am flying to Delhi tomorrow. मतलब मैं कल plane से दिल्ली जा रही हूँ. Okay, simple. So इसका अगर मुझे straight sentence बनाना है and not a question form, तो मैं इसको कैसे बनाऊंगी?
We are going to London.
We are flying to London. Okay, because flying is here. Next, if I want to make a negative sentence, how will I make a negative sentence?
We are
are
not
not going.
flying to London.
We are not flying to flying दिया है ना, so we'll use flying. Good.
मैम मुझे एक डाउट है मैम. इंटरोगेटिव सेंटेंस जब बनाया जाता है
हाँ.
तो इंटरोगेटिव दो टाइप के होते हैं. एक तो नॉर्मल इंटरोगेटिव हो गया, एक निगेटिव विथ इंटरोगेटिव होता है.
Okay, yeah.
जैसे कि वी
So-
आर फ्लाइंग टू लंदन, वी आर नॉट फ्लाइंग टू लंदन, ये हो गया सिंपल नेगेटिव सेंटेंस.
Yes.
एंड जब हम इंटरोगेटिव बनाएंगे इसको, आर वी फ्लाइंग टू लंदन, ये हो गया सिंपल इंटरोगेटिव. अब इसको जब नेगेटिव इंटरोगेटिव बनाएंगे तो आरंट वी फ्लाइंग टू लंदन ये बोलना सही रहेगा या आर वी नॉट फ्लाइंग टू लंदन ये बोलना सही रहेगा?
Are we not flying to London?
ओके, तो वो जो मैंने पहला बोला आरंट या आर नॉट शुरू में लगाना, ये गलत चीज है,
So
गलत रूल है.
गलत नहीं है. So आप दोनों तरह से आप इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो when you're making that sentence. So aren't we flying to London or are we not flying to London? दोनों सही है and both of them are acceptable.
ओके मैम, ये हर एक टेंस के लिए एप्लीकेबल है, फ्यूचर, पास्ट एंड.
हाँ, तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल चेक कर लेते हैं हम. फॉर एग्जाम्पल फ्यूचर वाला सेंटेंस हम कोई सा लेंगे. वी विल, if you are making it in continuous tense only, okay, so I will be doing my homework. Will I be doing my homework एक तरह का क्वेश्चन है. अगर नेगेटिव है, I will not be doing my homework. So will I not be doing my homework? Will not I be doing my homework? So both of them are correct.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू मैम.
You're welcome, and thanks for asking the question. So for everyone, so please make a note of this. Okay, this is a very important doubt. So हम लोग क्वेश्चन दो तरह, तो जैसे कोई भी सेंटेंस का हम लोग क्वेश्चन फॉर्म बनाते हैं. So when we are making the question form of a positive sentence, we know that we are putting not before the verb. Okay, and when we are making it into a question, then we are bringing the helping verb to the beginning and making it a question mark at the end. Now if I want to turn a negative sentence into a question, okay, then I will either say, for example, if you are talking about this sentence only, then the negative sentence is we are not flying to London. Now the question form is aren't we flying to London or are we not flying to London? Both of them are acceptable and both of them are correct. So is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. I dash to go outside.
Fourth one, ma'am.
Exactly. I am not planning to go outside. Okay, so I want the question form of this particular sentence. So am ke saath the case is a little different. Okay, so please try to form the question for this particular sentence. Interrogative form.
Am I not going to? Am I not planning to go outside?
Okay, और दूसरा तरीका.
Aren't.
Yes.
Yeah. Aren't I planning to go outside?
Very good. So guys, जैसे हमने देखा, हम लोग not जैसे लगाते हैं, I can say am I not planning to go outside, or am not I planning to go outside. So am not nahi bolte hain in English. Instead of am not, we will say aren't. So are not I planning to go outside. So all of you, please pay attention to this one point here. I will repeat it again in both Hindi and English. तो पहले I'll finish in Hindi and then I'll come to English. So पहले हिंदी में, so जैसे मैंने अभी बोला कैसे हम लोग नेगेटिव सेंटेंस से क्वेश्चन फॉर्म बनाते हैं, ये हमने प्रीवियस स्लाइड में डिस्कस किया है, राइट? सो जस्ट अ सेकंड. हाँ, तो अभी इस सेंटेंस में अगर आप देख सकते हैं तो दो तरीकों में हम लोग कर सकते हैं. सो एम आई नॉट प्लानिंग टू गो आउटसाइड, अदरवाइज नॉट को पहले सब एम के साथ जोड़कर हम लोग बना सकते हैं, ओके? लेकिन ओनली व्हेन वी आर यूजिंग एम देन देयर इज दिस प्रॉब्लम. ओके, सो एम के साथ जब हम लोग नॉट को जोड़ते हैं, सो आई विल नॉट से एमंट, आई विल से आरंट. तो वी विल मिक्स एम एंड नॉट. एम प्लस नॉट is equal to aren't. Okay, so aren't I planning to go outside? It will become. This is only in case of am. So in the previous slide, यहाँ पे अगर हमने देखा होता तो aren't we flying or are we not flying? So it is simple. Here with am, it will change to aren't. So just please make a note of this. Okay. So once again in English, I forgot to repeat it in English. So when you're making a negative sentence into a question, into interrogative form, then you can do it in two ways. You can place the not either in front of the verb or in the beginning of the sentence with the helping verb. Okay. So only when you're using am. Okay. So when you're using am, if you're putting not along with am, then instead of am and so am and short form nt, instead of that you will put aren't. Okay, so am plus not is equal to aren't. So just remember this. So I can say aren't I planning to go outside or am I not planning to go outside? For this particular sentence, that will be the question form. So guys, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for the clarification. So I hope it is clear for everybody, okay? Next. We dash for them to come outside.
Second one, ma'am. We are not waiting for them to come outside.
Yes. हम उनके बाहर आने का इंतजार नहीं कर रहे हैं. So we are not waiting for them to come outside. So what is the question form of this sentence? So I just want you guys to be extremely perfect in the negative question, any form of present continuous tense. Isliye I'm asking so many questions. So what is the interrogative form of this sentence?
Are we not?
Are we not waiting for them to come outside?
So अगर आपने aren't बोला तो फिर not नहीं लगेगा. Okay, so aren't we waiting for them to come outside or are we not waiting for them to come outside? So not हम लोग इधर helping verb के साथ लगाएंगे या फिर verb के सामने लगाएंगे. दोनों एक ही sentence में दोनों जगह हम लोग नहीं लगा सकते. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Bhavna Tyagi, you're not planning for watch movie today night. Okay. Are you not? So if I want to make a negative sentence, you are not planning to watch a movie tonight. Okay, so for watch nahi, to watch. Movie के सामने article a and today night नहीं बोलते हैं. Today night का short form है tonight. Great. Okay, so let's move forward. Dash for us.
Third, are they cooking for us?
Exactly. Are they cooking for us? आर के साथ आई कैसे? सो प्रतीक, आर के साथ हमने आई कहाँ पे इस्तेमाल किया? Are we not waiting for them to come outside? Very good. ओके सो प्रतीक, सिर्फ नेगेटिव में जब एम हम लोग बोलते हैं तो एम नॉट की जगह आरंट लगता है, सो दैट इज द रूल. ओके, सो दैट इज द रीजन आई एम स्पेसिफाइंग इट. सो पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस में आप आई आर नहीं बोलेंगे. ओनली व्हेन यू आर मेकिंग अ नेगेटिव interrogative sentence, then you are saying aren't I. Okay, so just remember this. Next, he dash at the moment.
Ma'am,
First
first one
one,
is
ma'am.
not working.
Yes, he is not working at the moment. वो इस समय काम नहीं कर रहा है. So again, a lot of people get confused. Even I also used to get confused when I have to use movement and moment. Okay, so movement यानी के कोई action से भरा, you know, something. For example, अगर मुझे ये क्विट इंडिया बोलना है तो जैसे people fought for our independence, so that is a movement. Okay, so moment is time. Okay, at short lapse of time उसको हम लोग moment बोलते हैं. Also, another place where a lot of people get confused is section and session. Even I get confused when I'm speaking fastly. So even in these sections also, when I'm speaking fast, I also get confused between section and session. Okay, so session is a time period and section is a group of something or a category of something. Okay, so these are my mistakes that I'm just telling you guys so that if you also have that doubt, it will be cleared. Next. So Pratik, I hope your doubt is cleared. I explained it. चलो, हम पढ़ाई नहीं कर रहे हैं. So you have to type your answers. So what is the answer?
Ma'am, we are
Yes, we are not studying or we aren't studying. Good. Next. क्या वह घर आ रही है?
Ma'am, is she coming home?
Yes, is she coming home? So all of you please remember, home के सामने कभी भी to नहीं लगता है. Okay. We aren't studying, we're not studying. Yes, Hardik, Vaishali, Virat, all of you good, correct answers. Okay, so is she coming home? Yes, good. So let us look at the next slide now. Let's move on. क्या आप हमारा इंतजार कर रहे हैं?
Ma'am, are you waiting for us?
Yes, are you waiting for us? Very good. Ma'am, I have online classes you. I have online classes with you. Okay. Next. मैं अभी नहीं सो रहा हूं. So what is the answer?
I'm not sleeping now.
Yes, I am not sleeping now. We have to add now there in the sentence because वहाँ पे question में we've clearly mentioned now. So abhi in the question. So in the answer in the translation we have to mention now compulsorily. Okay. Next.
Okay, ma'am.
मैं अच्छा महसूस नहीं कर रही हूँ.
Ma'am, I'm not feeling good.
Yes, or I'm not feeling well. So you can say anything.
I'm not good.
So इसका question form क्या होगा?
Am I not feeling well?
Or
Aren't I
Aren't not
feeling
feeling
well?
well.
aren't I feeling well? Yes.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
the pronunciation of aren't is right or aren't is right?
Aren't.
Aren't. Okay, ma'am.
Aren't. Okay, aren't बोलना है तो aren't, otherwise aren't. So कुछ भी aren't नहीं है, it's aren't. Okay, so however you're comfortable pronouncing, so you can pronounce it like that.
Aren't is also right.
Yes. So aren't. So I'll tell you. Okay. So honestly, अगर बताएं तो, for example, aren't हम इसलिए pronounce कर रहे हैं to specify it properly what all is written there. So are not को हम लोग aren't बोल रहे हैं. अगर aren't बोलना है, I can also say that. But मैं जब बात कर रही हूँ, जल्दी में मैं बात कर रही हूँ, then aren't बोलना is a little hard when compared to aren't. So it depends on how comfortable you are with pronouncing that. दोनों are acceptable as long as the other person is understanding कि आप क्या बोल रहे हैं. Okay, so usually people say aren't, तो उसी को थोड़ा आप if your speech is really nice, then in that pace it will become aren't. Okay, but then otherwise both of them are the same thing, they mean the same.
Then same thing like will plus not. We also pronounce that won't.
Will plus not?
Yeah, ma'am.
Won't.
Won't or won't?
No, that is won't.
Won't. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm not sleeping right now. Is it correct? Yes, that is correct. I can't translate from Hindi to English. So Raju, I know that is a little problematic because there are no options also, I understand. So you can skip these questions. Okay, so we already told this to the team. They are going to come up with an update soon where you will be able to look at the sentence in your own language. But till then, till we get that update, at least try to learn the concept. Okay. Not sleeping now. Okay. Okay. Pratik, that sentence is wrong. Okay. Am I feeling well? So am I feeling good? Okay. You will not say, see, I am feeling good. I am feeling good. Am I feeling good? Okay. Am I feeling well? Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can say, am I feeling well?
Good.
Sorry. So when I'm saying I'm feeling good, okay, I'll not say I'm feeling well. So usually I'm not feeling well bolte hain, but I am feeling well. They do not use that much. I usually say I'm feeling good, but the question form is correct for whatever you've made there. Okay, so aren't Pratik, aren't I feeling well? Okay, aren't I feeling good? So that is correct. Aren't and not will not come in a same sentence. So aren't itself has not in it. So you'll either say, aren't I feeling good, or am I not feeling good? Okay, so I hope it is clear. Please correct that. Ma'am, what is the meaning of yet? Arpita, I think I've answered this question to you only yesterday. Yet, I have not had my lunch yet. तो मैंने अभी तक ये काम नहीं किया है. So already पहले कर देना चाहिए था, but I have not done it. So for that time, I will say yet. Okay. So I have not finished my homework yet. I have not had lunch yet. Okay. So अभी तक मैंने नहीं किया है. In that sense, we will use yet. Okay. Next. क्या तुम एक मूवी देख रहे हो?
Ma'am, are you watching?
Yes. Are you watching a movie? Very good.
Are you watching a movie?
Yes. I'm from India in AP. I'm a little English. Please don't talk English. So, Vijay, just try to learn slowly. Okay, so you know only a little English and you want to learn properly, I understand. So since you started your learning journey, so please pay attention to the class and ask any doubts. Okay, if you have any doubts at all, you can ask.
Okay, ma'am.
Bhavna, I'm not feeling well, but now feelings better than. Okay. So I'm not feeling well, the sentence is correct. The sentence is correct till well. After that, it is completely wrong. Okay. First, better and batter are different. So BETTER, batter is atta. So dosa banane wala atta, cake banane ka jo paste hota hai, that is called batter. Okay. So that is one correction. And THEN nahi hai, THAN. Okay, than, because you're comparing something, you will use than and not then. And you will not say first, my feelings are better than before. Okay, so pehle se achhe hain, so you will say before and not first there. So I hope that is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so chaliye, let's move forward then. क्या वह मेरा इंतजार कर रही है?
Is she waiting for me?
Yes, is she
waiting for me?
Very good. वे टीवी नहीं देख रहे हैं.
They are not watching TV.
Very good. Next. वे मैच की प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर रहे हैं.
They are not practicing for the match.
They are not practicing for the match.
Very good. क्या वे परीक्षा की तैयारी कर रहे हैं?
Are they preparing
Are
for the
they
exam?
preparing for the exam?
Are they preparing of the exam?
For the exams, yes. Gurdev Saini, ma'am, I lack confidence in speaking English. Okay, so your sentence is absolutely correct. So Gurdev, अगर आपको English बोलना है, then you should overcome your fear. Okay, मतलब थोड़ा सा अपना fear को काबू में रख के आपको कोशिश करनी है to speak. Only then you will be able to learn. Okay, so honestly speaking, the benefit of having a platform like this where everybody is learning equally. So here कोई किसी को judge नहीं करेगा because यहाँ हम सब सीखने के लिए आए हैं. So you can use the platform as much as you can. And यहाँ पे आप थोड़ा थोड़ा करके आप इनको personally किसी को जानते भी नहीं हैं. You're joining from some place. And you will see how others are speaking. So अभी जितने लोग call पर हैं, I'm 100% sure कि जब वो पहले join हुए हैं उससे अभी now they speak a lot confidently. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
शुरुआत से अभी तक now they're comfortable in talking, comfortable in asking their doubts and participating in any activity also. So आप भी कर पाएंगे, but उसके लिए आपकी तरफ से भी थोड़ी सी मेहनत, क्योंकि I can keep asking, मतलब कि आप बोलो मैं बोल सकती हूँ, लेकिन अगर आपकी तरफ से कोशिश नहीं रहा, then we will not be able to do it. Okay, so if you are interested, अगर आप interested हैं और अगर आप ले सकते हैं, then try to join us on the call, take a membership, join us on the call and try participating, because आपको main issue is with speaking. So then you have to concentrate on speaking. Okay, and because आप chat box से हम लोग direct communication नहीं हो सकता है हमारा, so I will encourage you to participate in the call and speak to me and ask your doubts and everything while speaking only. Okay, because that is
Okay,
your
ma'am.
biggest problem. So Gurdev ji, I hope that is clear to you. Next, any other doubts? The questions are very easy. Good for you, Asim. अगर आपको easy लगे, then good, आपको topic समझ आया है. Great. So okay, so we are almost done. So आज का session खत्म हो गया है. So guys, any doubts in today's session or any other topic, you can ask me and I will clarify them for you. So please let me know if there are any doubts at all. I'll give you 2 minutes because everybody has to comment also, write their comment also. So I'll wait for 2 minutes. So in case you have any doubts in any topic, you can think about it and then ask me.
Ma'am,
Ji.
ma'am, there is not my name in the leaderboard.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Khushi.
Kushi, yours is in the first name on my.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is not my name. There are two Khushi.
Oh, there are 2 Kushis. Then let me just refresh.
No, ma'am.
Okay, let me just take a look.
Yes, 2 Kushi now.
Oh, there are 2 Kushis.
Yes, Kushi 172 coins, 162 coins.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
फिर से refresh करूंगी. The leaderboard has to be refreshed multiple times. Okay, I can't see Kushi 162 coins for some reason. I can only see 172.
Ma'am, I also.
Okay. We'll do one thing. Class के end में थोड़ी देर बाद फिर से refresh करते हैं. Maybe then again more names will come.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Priyanka.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hello.
हाँ, बोलिए बोलिए. I can hear you. Priyanka, you can speak. I can hear you. Guys, can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we can hear you, ma'am. Ma'am, yes, session. When will this session repeat?
So I'm not sure about that. So हमको people assign classes to us. So my mentor assigns me classes, and sometimes it repeats frequently. Otherwise, sometimes there is a long gap. But I think the other educators also will.
Because I'm late today, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So I'm not sure when it will repeat. So whenever they assign the classes, only then I can tell you. So as of now, I've been assigned classes only till tomorrow. And tomorrow I don't have a repeat of this session. So only that is the information that I have. Okay. Shubhankar, ma'am, आपका voice cut हो रहा है. Shubhankar, please check your network. Some people say the and some people say the. Pratik, the, some people nahi hai. In before some words you have to say the. Before some words you have to say the. So guys, how many of you know this कि THE का pronunciation change होता है? Okay. So let me tell you. So the ka pronunciation. So like we are putting articles. So like we are putting an in before words. Those have vowels or vowel sounds. ये कितने लोगों को पता है? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay, so usually हम लोग a and the में and कहाँ पे लगाते हैं? जब and के आर्टिकल के बाद आने वाला वर्ड जो है अगर वो वावल से स्टार्ट हो रहा है या फिर उसका साउंड वावल जैसा हो. Okay, so I will say an egg. I will not say a egg. So do all of you know this?
An orange.
Yes,
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
exactly. An orange बोलेंगे, a orange नहीं बोलेंगे. Also HOUR, hour. So उसको हम लोग hour नहीं pronounce करते. H is silent there, H is silent. So for that reason, we'll say an hour and not a hour. Okay, क्योंकि उसका sound vowel sound है. So in the same manner, so the और the कैसे हम लोग इस्तेमाल करते हैं? So if I have to say orange, okay, I will say the orange. Please pass me the orange. So when I'm using vowels or vowel sounds, तो उसके सामने हम लोग the का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Okay. Otherwise, for some words we will say the. This is the meaning of communication. So if that is my sentence, so there the pronunciation will change. Okay, so you can look up the internet for more information on the pronunciation अगर आपको अभी भी clarity नहीं है, but yes, the pronunciation changes. So अभी I'm saying the pronunciation, I'm saying bring me the egg. So egg के सामने again I'm using the. Okay, so please make a note of that also.
Ma'am, bring me the orange. Is it correct? Give me the orange.
Yes, it's correct. Bring me the orange. Okay. Ma'am, this is English. Please avoid native language. So Raju, I know this is English learning app, but how will you learn English if you don't know English at all? So there has to be one language to explain how to use something. No, so here, because majority of the people speak Hindi, here we are now currently using Hindi. So soon there will be an update where there will be Telugu also. So you only try to understand. So because some things you will not understand in English completely. If I tell the entire class in English, if I use big words there, and if you don't know the meaning, if I don't explain it in native language, how will you learn English? Okay, so I'm trying to explain it as properly as possible. If there is still a doubt, you can ask me. Okay, but I do not know all the regional languages, so obviously I cannot explain in all the languages. Okay, so till the update comes, at least try to learn the concept as much as you can. Okay, because I repeat in both English and in Hindi. Good. Ma'am, next session कब है? So tomorrow I have 3 classes. सुबह के 11, दोपहर के 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And the 3 sessions tomorrow are general topics. So please try to join because it is something that we use in our day-to-day conversations. So we will have a lot of speaking practice also. So tomorrow, if you have the time, you can try to join at any time. Okay, 11, 2 and 5. Wasim, our does not start with vowel, ma'am. Yes, our does not start with vowel. H is a consonant, but in the pronunciation, H is silent. So we'll say R and will not say hover. Okay. So because we're saying R, because there is a vowel sound, we are using an in front of R. Okay. Please wait for an R. Okay. I'll not say a hover. I will say an R. Okay. So guys, any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So just to tell everybody, just to give an information, like a lot of people know, I shared a tense chart which will help in practicing tense. So already a lot of people might know this because I've shared it multiple times and I've spoken about it multiple times. So I'm updating the chart a little bit. So I'm adding negative, passive.
Ma'am, please, what time you have to share the tense chart, ma'am?
I'm sorry. You want me to share the tense chart, is it? Okay, I'm
Ma'am, what are you
sharing.
teaching now?
Okay, so I've just shared it in the comments. So please look at the tense chart there. So this is a tense chart that I have made, that I have used to learn tenses, and I'm sharing with you people because it is easier to understand and it is a better approach to learning tenses is what I feel. So I am updating this tense chart a little bit. So I am going to finish it today. So what I'm doing is, इसमें सिर्फ tenses ही नहीं. So this is a positive sentence. So I will put negative sentence. I'm putting, this is active voice. So I'm putting passive voice also. And this is a simple sentence. So I'll put interrogative also in there. Okay. So जो भी हमारे ये सारे concepts हैं, मैं उन सबको मिलाकर I'm trying to make like a nice chart so that most of your concepts are covered in this particular chart only. Okay. So मैं इस चार्ट को ऐसे अपडेट कर रही हूँ कि आपको जो भी कॉन्सेप्ट है, एक्टिव, पैसिव, इंटरोगेटिव, नेगेटिव, जो भी सेंटेंस हम जो भी बात कर रहे हैं, ये पूरा मैं एक ही अच्छे से एक टेबल में बनाकर मैं सबको वो शेयर करूँ. सो आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू दैट. सो मोस्ट प्रोबेबली कल तक ये शायद रेडी हो जाएगा या फिर परसों तक मैं करूंगी टाइम के हिसाब से. So I will share that with you guys. So please try to take a look at that. Okay. So ये मेरा बनाया हुआ है. I will ask if I can share it anywhere on my dashboard. मुझे नहीं पता अगर मैं ऐसे share कर सकती हूँ because यहाँ पे वो table जो मैंने अच्छे से बनाया है, वो table पूरा एक comment में आ रहा है. So it's not looking very nice. So I'll ask if I can share something like that, and I will try to do it. So I will let you know when I share it so that you guys can take a look at that. ओके. आप खुद से भी बना सकते हो इफ यू नो द कॉन्सेप्ट वेरी वेल. आप खुद से बनाकर फिर बाद में कंपेयर करके करेक्शंस कर सकते हो. दैट इज आल्सो वेरी गुड प्रैक्टिस. बट आई विल जस्ट गिव यू दैट फॉर रेफरेंस, ताकि फ्यूचर में आप कभी भी कंफ्यूज हो जाए, देन यू कैन जस्ट लुक एट वन पर्टिकुलर चार्ट विदाउट लुकिंग एट all different kinds of information. Okay, so I am hoping that that will help you in some way. And yeah.
Are you attend the tomorrow class 2 hour continuously? Yeah? 11 and 12?
नहीं. 11 to 5. 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Great. So if there are no more doubts, then we'll end the session here and we'll meet again tomorrow. So are there, yeah.
Ma'am, I'm Meena
Yes?
speaking, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Meena.
Ma'am, I still.
Yes, you are.
Ma'am, I have facing same technical issues, ma'am, till yet. So I have written a email for premium at helloenglish.com, but there is no
Okay.
response, ma'am.
Okay, so can you please stay here? Let me just message. अभी मैं message करती हूँ. So what was the issue? You're not able to see any of the slides, is it? Registration बता रहा है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं मैम, वो जो स्लाइड पे ये जूम क्लास अटेंड होने से पहले एक रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म आता है मैम. अब मेरे में आता है, मेरे डिवाइस में आता है, और ओके में आता है नहीं, ये मेरे को नहीं पता.
Okay.
तो वो
गाइस जितने लोग बाकी लोग हैं, आप कोई प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे हो क्या? ऐसे कोई रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म आ रहा है?
होता है, मेरा ईमेल एड्रेस है.
ओके.
Meena? हेलो
यस
मीना, आप ये हेलो इंग्लिश का एक दूसरा एक एप्लीकेशन भी है, लर्नर्स, हेलो इंग्लिश लर्नर्स, वो भी डाउनलोड किया?
हाँ,
वो भी डाउनलोड किया?
हेलो इंग्लिश लर्नर्स नहीं किया है.
वो कर लो, वो करेगा तो फिर मिल जाएगा.
ओके. सो
मतलब वो अलग से डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा?
हाँ मीना, आप एक बार प्ले स्टोर से हेलो इंग्लिश लर्नर्स भी डाउनलोड करके देखिए जैसे बता रहे हैं, और वहां से लॉगिन करने की कोशिश कीजिए एंड सी इफ इट इज वर्किंग. ओके, हो सकता है ये
मैम हेलो इंग्लिश लर्नर मेरे ख्याल से एंड्रॉइड में होगा. मेरा ये एप्पल का डिवाइस है मैम, तो एंड्रॉइड के फोन में था मेरा, लेकिन ये एप्पल के डिवाइस में शायद नहीं होता है.
ओके, एक सेकेंड.
फिर भी मैं ट्राई करके देखती हूँ।
हाँ, आप एक बार कोशिश करके देखो। मैं आज पक्का आई टॉक टू माय मेंटर एंड आई आस्क व्हाट द इश्यू इज। ओके, आपने अपना ऐप अनइंस्टॉल करके इंस्टॉल करने की कोशिश की?
ओके मैम। हाँ किया मैम, लेकिन वो वही दिखाता है, सेम ही दिखाता है। आप क्लिक करेंगे लाइव क्लासेस में, वो क्लिक हो जाएगा, लेकिन जब आप स्पीक बटन दबाएंगे ना मैम, तो
हाँ।
जूम में क्लास कनेक्ट भी हो जाएगा, मैं आपसे बात भी कर सकती हूँ, तो सुन भी सकती हूँ, लेकिन जो आप वो प्रैक्टिस एक्सरसाइज कराती है ना,
हाँ।
वो क्लिक नहीं होता मैम।
अच्छा।
ये लगभग 3 हो गए, पहले होता था। मैं और मतलब 1 साल हो गया है मेरे को ये प्रो मेंबरशिप लेते हुए। मेरा अब नेक्स्ट ईयर में खत्म हो जाए, नेक्स्ट मंथ में खत्म हो जाएगा,
ओके।
लेकिन अभी ये प्रॉब्लम दिखा रहा है। नहीं तो मैं रेगुलर क्लास होता था, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था।
ओके, आप एक बार जैसे उन्होंने कहा तो एक बार हेलो इंग्लिश लर्नर का भी ऐप आप डाउनलोड करके देखिए, अगर हो रहा है आपके डिवाइस में। अगर नहीं हो रहा है तो आई विल कम विद अ सॉल्यूशन टुमारो। सो प्लीज जॉइन टुमारो 11 to 5 किसी भी समय एंड आई विल गिव यू द आंसर।
एप्पल का फोन में एप्पल स्टोर में जाके परचेज कर लो वो एप्लीकेशन।
आप परचेस कर रखा है ऑलरेडी, 1 साल का परचेस है मेरा, जुलाई में खत्म होगा। 1 ईयर की मेंबरशिप मैंने लास्ट ईयर ली थी।
ओके,
तो वो
ये
ऑलरेडी काम कर रहा है, मैं जूम पे
Apple
बात भी
के
कर सकती
ऐप
हूँ, बोल भी
खरीदने
सकती
की
हूँ,
बात
सुन भी
कर रहे हैं। सो ये ऐप खरीदने की बात कर रहे हैं क्योंकि एप्पल डिवाइसेस में ये प्रॉब्लम होता है कि जो प्ले स्टोर में सारे एप्स है वो जो भी फ्री होते हैं वो ऐप स्टोर में कभी कभी फ्री नहीं होते हैं, खरीदने होते हैं। सो आप एक बार एक काम कीजिए, दोबारा एक बार देख लीजिए फ्री हो रहा है कि नहीं। अदरवाइज डोंट डू एनीथिंग, आई विल टेल यू द सॉल्यूशन टुमारो। इज दैट ओके? Okay, so Ahana also has the same problem. Yahan comments mein somebody also has the same problem like Meena. So guys, I'll come with a solution tomorrow. Let me ask somebody from my team and मैं कल आपको बताऊंगी कि क्या करना है. Okay? Yeah. So okay then guys, समय भी खत्म हो रहा है. So thank you everybody for joining. We'll see you all again tomorrow. Please all of you be safe and take care of yourselves. So कल फिर मिलते हैं. Thank you for joining. Bye.
थैंक यू मैम।
Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Just give me one moment. Trying to go live.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Hope you all are doing well. Okay, great. Thank you. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to the session, everyone. I hope you all can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Great. Just a moment. I think it should be okay now. It's clear, loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the session. My name is Amit, and I welcome you all to this session, which is on connectors. We did the topic connectors yesterday as well. I covered that the connectors that we discussed were and, but, and or, right? So today we'll look at and as well as to, okay? So these are some of the connectors that we will discuss today. We also discussed that connectors can either be prepositions or conjunctions. Basically, the job of a connector is to connect two sentences, okay? Connect two or more sentences. Just a moment. Okay. So I'm just sending the pro invite to our learners who are pro learners. Please join me on Zoom. Okay, just a moment. Okay, yeah. So that's fine. Let's start. So we'll keep it conversational. One person can start, then the other person. So we'll try and ensure everyone gets an opportunity to read. Okay. So let's start with this. The sentence here is, can someone read the English sentence? You don't have to read the Hindi part, just the English sentence.
कनेक्टर्स संयोजक शब्दों का प्रयोग शब्दों के बड़े समूह, वाक्यांश या कथन को जोड़ने के लिए किया जाता है. संयोजक शब्द अनेक हैं, लेकिन एंड सबसे कॉमन संयोजक शब्द है. एग्जाम्पल, वह गिटार बजाती है और बहुत अच्छा गाती है. तो शी प्लेज द गिटार एंड सिंग्स वेरी वेल.
She plays the guitar and sings very well. Yep, that's the sentence here. You can also say she plays the guitar as well as sings well, very well. But here you used very well, so yeah, and is fine. She plays the guitar and sings very well, very well. So basically here it's connecting, it's talking about the qualities or talking about that particular person who does two things. What? Playing the guitar as well as singing, right? So let's have a look at the next one. Okay, can the next person answer the next one? Second slide.
Second one, ma'am. Sir, and
Can you read the sentence?
they have a big garden and often invite friends for parties.
Very good, thank you. Please give me a moment, guys. I'm just adding some of our other pro learners. Okay. Yes, so they have a big garden and often invite friends for parties. Okay. Guys, I just request you all to be on mute. Yeah, thank you. Just give me a moment. Let's continue. Can the next person answer the next one? Yes, we have Priyanka, Zishan, Khushi.
Wash the utensils first and then use them.
Thank you. Wash the utensils first and then use them. Okay. Good. Good answer. Just trying to add some of our other learners. Just give me a moment. Okay. Great. Thank you. So yes, wash the utensils, bartan, basically utensils first and then use them. Okay. Next one is a sentence here. It says, I can sing and play the guitar as well. Okay. So I can sing and play the guitar as well or to ka arth also भी के समान होता है, लेकिन ये साधारणत्व, I'm sorry for that, how do you pronounce the word साधारणतय? वाक्य के अंत में
साधारणतयः।
Okay, I'm sorry, my Hindi is not very fluent in terms of
एंड
reading.
में जो है वो हिंदी में विसर्ग बोला जाता है।
Okay, so visarg, all right, fair enough. वाक्य के अंत में आते हैं, so it basically talks about using as well and to at the end of the sentence, right? So I can sing and play the guitar as well. So basically it's talking about the ability to do two things. One is play the guitar and sing as well, right? Or the other way around. So let's have a look at some of the examples here. Yes, can someone answer the next one who's just joined, not had the opportunity? We have Rajesh who's just joined, Manu who's just joined, Zishan. Anyone?
I can play the piano and sing as well.
Very good, thank you. Similar to the previous sentence, I can play the piano and sing as well. Some of our other pro learners just got disconnected from Zoom. If there are any issues, guys, just check your network. And if there's any issues, just try and reconnect. That's fine, log out and log in. It works, mostly works. So I can play the piano and sing as well. Two things, let's continue, move to the next one. It says, I am dancing. Me too, right? So it says informal वाक्यों में to का प्रयोग short answer देने में किया जाता है. Yes. Well, yeah, me too is, these two words have become very popular these days. We all know about that. So yeah, me too means I also do the same thing, right? I'm doing the same thing. I am dancing, me too is a reply given by someone, right? So I'm telling a friend, I'm dancing, it says me too, okay? Or I'm learning the art form, me too, okay? So I'm also doing the same thing. We use me too as a short answer, okay? Short form. Let's have a look at some more examples. Yeah, can someone read the next sentence, please?
I want to go to the party, and B1, me too.
Great, thank you. I want to go to the party is spoken, or the statement is made by a person, one person. The other one replies, me too, okay? So we are looking at the usage for the benefit of our learners who've just joined or joined late. We're talking about connectors and to as well, okay? These are the connectors that we are discussing today, all right? If time permits, I will share more examples and we'll do more exercises, okay? So just give me a moment. Let's move to the next one. So we spoke about using conjunctions and prepositions as connectors. Here we are using to. What is it? What is to? What part of speech is it? To is, what is to? To is it conjunction, preposition, adverb, adjective? What is it? What is the word to?
Connectors, no?
Yes, however, what I mean is it, connectors can be anything. Connectors can be adjectives. I mean, connectors can be prepositions, can be conjunctions. Here we are talking about to. So to is what? To is an adverb, right? To is an adverb. Okay, adverb basically tells us something about the verb, right? So in addition, also, to also means also, right? So in addition, that is the meaning of to. Okay. All right. We also use to, for example, it's too hot, it's too cold, etc. Right? So we use to as an adverb. Okay. Let's move to the next one.
सर
Yes.
सर आज का टॉपिक क्या है सर?
कनेक्टर्स दो सेंटेंसेस को जोड़ने का काम करते हैं, जो वर्ड्स जो एक दूसरे, जो वर्ड्स किसी और सेंटेंस के बारे में कुछ बताते हैं या कंटिन्यू करते हैं. सो हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं एंड एज वेल और टू. कल हमने डिस्कस किया था एंड, बट एंड और these were the three connectors we discussed. Connectors basically connect two sentences. Okay, so we are discussing that today. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Let's continue. Next one. Yes, can someone answer the next one?
Also.
No problem. Can you read the sentence? Anyone? Yeah.
They will book the hotel and also provide the catering.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, you can answer the next one. No problem. So yes, they will book the hotel and also provide the catering. Okay. In addition to, basically, that's what I just explained. Let's continue. Yes, ma'am. You can answer the next one. Someone was answering the previous one. You can answer the next one.
Fourth one, sir. We will go to the temple and then go shopping.
Thank you. We will go to the temple and then go shopping. All right, fair enough. Just give me a moment, guys. I just need to quickly sip some water. Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Please ask. Please go ahead.
The previous class I have not, sir. So I am not understanding this topic, sir.
Topic, as I mentioned, the topic is connecting two sentences. हम यहाँ discuss कर रहे हैं words like 3 words. We are discussing 3 connectors and 2 as well. Basically, 2 sentences को जोड़ने का जो काम करते हैं उन्हें connectors कहते हैं. वो topic हम discuss कर रहे हैं. Last class was also the same thing. So basically, okay.
Sir, select क्या करना पड़ेगा?
सही जवाब क्या है? ग्रामेटिकली क्या सही सेंटेंस है? आप पढ़ेंगे तो दूसरे सेंटेंसेस जो है आपको पता चलेगा कि कुछ सेंटेंसेस जो है वो गलत है. जैसे फर्स्ट, we will go to the temple but then go shopping. The construction itself is wrong. We will go to the temple as well as then go shopping. Doesn't make sense. We will go to the temple to then go shopping. Doesn't make sense. What are you trying to say? You are trying to say there's a translation. हिंदी में sentence दिया है वहां. हम मंदिर जाएंगे और फिर शॉपिंग जाएंगे. उसको आप बेसिकली ट्रांसलेट करना है बस और सही सिलेक्ट करना है सही ऑप्शन. ओके
ओके सर.
ऑलराइट. We will go to the temple and then go shopping. All right. A lot of times by reading the incorrect sentences, you just understand whether, by reading a sentence, you will understand whether the sentence is grammatically correct or no, whether it makes sense or no. A lot of times for the exercises, we have sentences that would not be grammatically right, or it would have no meaning basically. So just try and understand the sentence in Hindi and then just select the correct option. Okay. आप ट्राई कीजिए. नेक्स्ट आप ट्राई कीजिए. जी.
I can drive a scooter and a car as well.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I got it.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. So I can drive a scooter and a car as well. Okay. Even if you say I can drive a scooter and a car, or I can drive a scooter as well as a car, that's also fine. Okay. It's just that the speaker is emphasizing, it's trying to make a point, right? So it's trying to make a point that what vehicles do you drive? Someone asks you, or can you drive a car, or can you drive a scooter? I can drive a scooter and a car as well. So he's just emphasizing, stressing on the fact that he can not only drive a scooter, however, also a car. So he's efficient with both the vehicles, all right? Proficient rather. So he can drive a scooter and a car as well. It's just emphasizing. There are different ways to make the same statement, okay? Let's have a look at the next one. Can the next person answer? I can see some of our pro learners have just joined. Rajesh, Vipul, all can answer. Yes, anyone? Mukesh? Someone who's not?
Third one, he directed the film and acted
Okay, thank you. जी आपकी आवाज कट रही है, आपको थोड़ा connection check करना पड़ेगा. जी, probably yeah, mic.
He directed the film and acted in it too.
Great, thank you. That's correct. That is correct. He directed the film. No, it says he directed the film and acted in it too. Yeah, that's correct. You mentioned the third one, right? Yes, third one is correct. Yeah. I'll allow the other learners to select the answer. Let the timer complete its course. Yes, so he directed the film and acted in it too. Okay, grammatically correct. Thank you. Let's continue. Next person, Rajesh, Mukesh. If you're not able to unmute, I can just try to ask you to unmute from here. Can you hear me? If your screen is stuck, just try to reconnect.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can hear.
Okay, great. Please go ahead.
I want to meet Neha
I
and her
want
mother.
to meet Neha and her mother as well.
Thank you. Both are correct. So well done. Thank you. Just give me a moment, guys. Some of our other learners are joining. I'll quickly. Yep, that's fine. Okay. I want to meet Neha as well as her mother. Okay. So we want to meet two people. One is Neha and her mother, as well as in addition to, or also, basically it means also. So I want to meet Neha as well as her mother, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I misread the sentence. It says, I want to meet Neha and her mother as well. Yeah, that's fine. I want to meet Neha as well as her mother is also fine. That sentence is not given here, but you can also say it that way, right? Yes. जी आप कुछ पूछ रहे हैं?
फोर्थ वन हमको भी लगा सर फोर्थ वन होगा सर.
As well as no, वहां पे as नहीं दिया है ना. वो फोर्थ ऑप्शन में as well her mother लिखा है. As
Yes,
well
sir.
as नहीं लिखा है.
Yes, sir.
इसीलिए वो गलत है. I was literally translating it in another way. That's why. So, but the option among the options given here, the first one is grammatically correct. I misread it, so my bad. I just translated it the other way around. So I want to meet Neha as well as a mother. But in the fourth option, as is not mentioned there, right? So the first one is appropriate in this case. So you see, it's important. Sometimes we miss out on a word that can cause a mistake. My bad. So let's continue, move to the next one. You all have to just translate this on your screen, okay? Just translate this on your screen. There's a timer, guys. Please complete the sentence. Okay, we have other pro learners who've just joined. Praveen, can you hear me? Praveen, Kriti. Can you answer the next one? No, okay. Anyone else? Priyanka, Zishan, Kushi, anyone?
Yes, sir. I also want to work.
Okay. मैं भी काम करना चाहती हूँ. No. Can you read this again?
I also want to work.
मैं भी काम करना चाहती हूँ. I also want to work or I too want to work.
I also want to work.
Okay. I also want to work is grammatically correct. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just looking at the translation here. It emphasizes the fact that मैं भी काम करना चाहती हूँ, right? So it's not about.
Sir, also that I want to work too.
I too want to work, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that is what seems appropriate in this case. So basically, the sentence indicates that the person is talking about the fact that he or she wants to work or also has a desire to work, right? So your sentence is also grammatically correct. There's nothing wrong in that. I also want to work. I also want to work is also fine. Let's see what is the translation given here. Both are correct. I too want to work. I also want to work. Both are fine. So also would literally translate to be, right? So yeah, it seems appropriate what you mentioned. The translation for to could possibly be, what is the translation? Bahut, okay, bahut, very much, right? So bahut zyada, too, okay. Fair enough, it could be also here in this case. Let's see. Time was pretty slow on this one. Sorry for that. To and also are synonyms, guys. Please remember, okay? So I also want to work. Well done, good answer. To and also are synonyms. What the meaning for to, of course, we know it's a higher degree, something that is excessive, right? It also means, to also means in addition, also is also the meaning, right? So these are synonyms. To and also are synonyms. Even if you say I too want to work, it's perfectly fine, okay? Next one. Can someone answer the next one? Next one. Can someone answer the next one, please?
You can also call him.
तुम उसे भी बुला सकते हो. Okay,
Sir, we can write, you can call her too.
That's fine. That's fine. You can call her too. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Both are correct. Timer is a bit too slow on these sentences, but that's fine. Just take your time, guys. Just type the sentences. I can see only a few responses on my screen here. I hope you all are able to type the sentences on your screen. Take your time. Just ensure that you submit it. And if there's any issues with the link, please reconnect, okay? Or refresh the screen, all right? That's fine. You can call her as well. That's also fine. It's correct. I can see some sentences on the chat. Fine. तुम उसे भी बुला सकते हो.
You can also call him.
You can also call him. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's one. Yeah. There's some sentences on the chat. You can call her as well. That's fine. You can call her too. Call him too. That's fine.
यूज हर का क्यों आया?
जी आपकी आवाज कट रही.
सर यहाँ यूज हर का यूज हुआ सर? हर
जी आपकी I'm not able to hear you clearly. क्या कहाँ यूज हुआ है?
सर यू कैन कॉल हर एज वेल. हर क्यों यूज होगा?
हर यहाँ नहीं है. What I mean is there's no gender specified here, right? So it's not specified here. So it says तुम उसे भी बुला सकते हो. So it can be him as well, right? There's no gender specified here, right? You can call him as well. It's fine, right? Next one. Someone who's just joined, Praveen, Shrikant, Vikas, welcome. I can see that you all have just joined. Anyone can attempt to answer the next one. You all just need to unmute and answer. That's it. Just unmute and answer the next one. I hope you all are able to hear me. Our pro learners who've just joined. Yes, go ahead. I think you're trying to answer, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Shrikant, I think you're trying to answer, but I can't hear you. Just check the connection or just check the mic. See if you're on mute. Or try and unmute, mute and then unmute. Yes. Can you hear me now?
1 minute, sir.
Okay, yes. Take your time, no problem. हम स्कूल आएंगे और तुम्हारे प्रिंसिपल से मिलेंगे. We must have heard this from our parents when we were in school.
Come to school and meet your principal too.
Yeah. It's good. I'm sure some of us have heard this from our parents when we were in school, or we must have heard from the principal that they want to meet our parents. So yeah, हम स्कूल आएंगे और तुम्हारे प्रिंसिपल से मिलेंगे. Right? So we will come to the school and meet your principal. Okay, तुम्हारे, don't forget.
सर आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं है, बिल्कुल भी सुनाई नहीं दे रही है.
Can others hear me? Guys? Vipul, Rajesh, Vikas?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's clear?
Yes.
What
Yes.
is the right answer?
जी आपको फिर शायद रिफ्रेश करना होगा. कुछ एरर होगा. There must be some error from your end. They are able to hear me clearly. Just try and refresh your screen or just try and disconnect and reconnect. It should work. अगर आप if you are using a headphone, just check. Or plug it out and plug it in again. Okay, so हम स्कूल आएंगे और तुम्हारे प्रिंसिपल से मिलेंगे. We will come to the school and meet your principal. Timer is a bit slow, guys, so you all have sufficient time to type the responses on the chat, or I mean on the live session. So please answer, okay? Okay. I can see our learners are still joining. Guys, I request you all to, if possible, try and join the session on time so that you can make full use of it, all right? We already passed 15 slides on the topic, right? So, and half an hour. So just try and join the topic on time, the sessions on time, so that you can make full use of it and understand the explanations. I try and summarize. If time permits, I do a recap as well. However, it's it's better if you all join on time to make full use of the time and ensure that you all can participate and make maximum use of the time. Basically, get the opportunity to answer all the questions that we have, right? I understand it's Sunday still.
प्रिंसिपल में द क्यों लगेगा?
Definite article use कर सकते हैं आप. Definite article. We will come to the school. अगर आप a school कहेंगे तो वो गलत हो जाएगा. It can be any school. Here we are talking about specifically that school, right? I'd prefer to use the as an article here. Basically, you're specifying. So it's not that we will, let's say, for example, someone can talk to the principal or have a word with the principal over the phone as well, right? You can have a conversation or telephone conversation, right? However, here you are specifying, no, I don't want to call your principal, make a phone call. We will come to the school and meet him, right? So you're using the as a definite article.
Okay, sir.
Even if you say we will come to school and meet your principal, is not grammatically incorrect. It's fine. It's fine, right? It's okay. Still fine. It's just that I prefer to use the article to be specific. Just to denote something, right? So let's see. As I mentioned, even if you don't use the, it's fine, it's appropriate. It's not an incorrect way to say this. So yeah, we will come to school or we will come to the school and meet the principal, okay? Both are fine in this case. Okay, next one. Can someone answer the next one, please? I can see our some of our pro learners have just joined. Got disconnected. Yep. Please answer the next one. You all can just unmute and answer. It's fine. Anyone? Yes, guys. I know the timer is a bit slow on this on these at times because you have to type a sentence. So kindly allow other learners to type a sentence. Yes, please
Sir,
go ahead.
can I?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
I can play hockey and football.
Okay. मैं hockey और football खेल सकता हूँ. What are the other ways to say this? Anyone else? One more sentence. Other ways to say the same thing. Use as well as to.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
I can play both hockey and football.
I can play both hockey and football, right? Another way to say this. I can play hockey as well as football.
I can play hockey and football as well.
I can play hockey and football as well. Very good. Very good. That's good. Or as I mentioned, I can play hockey as well as football. Okay.
Sir, can I this way? I can not only play hockey but also football. Is this correct?
That's fine. I can not only play football but hockey as well. Yeah, that's fine. I can not only play. I am there is another way to say this. You can also say, I am adept. I am adept at hockey as well as football. This is also another way you can say this. Okay. Adept basically means skilled, proficient. Okay. Nipun जिसे कहते हैं हिंदी में, right? That's the meaning of adept. Okay. So I am adept at hockey as well as football. इसका मतलब ये है कि you have two skill sets. I have the skill set of in football as well as hockey. Okay. So adept is very skilled or proficient at something. Okay. Adept can also be used as a noun for a person who is skilled at something. Okay.
आंसर नहीं हो सकता. I can play hockey as well as football.
That's fine. That's fine. That is fine. I think it'll go with I can play hockey and football as well. I think that will be the answer here. Might reflect, but either ways, if you all have typed either of the sentences that we discussed, all are grammatically correct. Okay. It's chosen the simplest way. I can play hockey and football. All right. That's fine. Either ways, I can play hockey as well as football, or I can play hockey and football as well. All are correct. Okay. The next one, guys, this is a quicker timer. Okay. This is a quick one. So just select the options, rearrange the words and form a sentence. Yes. Next person, someone who's just joined, not had the opportunity, or anyone. Next person, please.
Can you come to my place and help me?
Very good. Can you come to my place and help me? Okay. These days, the sentence has changed. Can you come online and help me? Because most of the things we do online. So I think
Hello,
invite.
sir.
Yes.
Can you come to my place and help me?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. That is correct. Can you?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can
Hello.
hear you. I don't think you are able
Can
to
you
hear
come
me.
to my place and help me?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you come to my place and help me? Good job. Well done. Thank you. Let's continue. Move to the next one. Next one, guys. Next person. Yes, next one, guys.
She will,
Yeah.
yes, sir. She will prepare breakfast and lunch as well.
Okay. She will prepare. She'll prepare breakfast as well as, yeah, because there's a full stop given at the end, right? So, as well. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. Good answer. Thank you. Here, the reason we can't say, we cannot make the sentence, she will prepare breakfast as well as lunch is because there's a full stop after as well. So it clearly indicates that it's got to be at the end. So well done. She will prepare breakfast and lunch as well. First comes breakfast and then the lunch. Either way, it's fine, but yeah, we'll stick to the order. So let's continue the next one. This is the last slide, guys. Anyone?
They can also have dinner with us.
Right. They can also have dinner with us. Where are we? Here. Okay, yeah. You can also have dinner with us. Okay, very good.
सर विद अस का मतलब यहाँ पे
हमारे साथ, वे भी हमारे साथ with us. Okay. हमारे साथ.
Okay, sir.
They can also have dinner with us. Okay. All right. Next one. I think we are done with the topic. Well done, guys. So relatively easier topic to understand for today. Okay. So we still have some time. Okay. We still have some time. I'll try and type some sentences on the chat, and you all can just try and complete the sentences. Okay. If you all are not able to see it, I will also read the sentences, so our pro learners can just answer the questions. Okay. We'll try and do a fill in the blanks kind of an exercise. Okay. So let's have a look at this. Okay. Okay. So I want to do let's do an exercise in infinitive and gerunds. This is something that we discussed last week. Okay. So infinitive is what and gerund is what? Can someone tell me quickly? Infinitive is when we use to eat, to walk, to play, to sing, to dance. This is infinitive, okay? And gerund is when you add ing, okay? ing at the end. Swimming, shopping, playing, all right? Cooking, okay? So try and understand the context of the sentence and tell me what is the correct form of the verb, okay? I'm just going to type some sentences. You will see a word in the bracket, a verb in the bracket. Use the correct form. The first sentence. Yep.
Sir, again repeat, sir. Infinitive.
Infinitive वो है जो जहां आप to use करते हैं. To eat, to play, to sing, to cook, to eat. All right. और gerund है जहां हम ing form use करते हैं. जैसे swimming, cooking, shopping, okay, watching, playing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Basically sentence समझना है और verb का सही इस्तेमाल करना है. Okay. So let's start with the first sentence. Okay. Just give me a moment. Okay. So the first sentence is this one. It's obvious he, okay, I'm sorry, I can't see the sentence here. Okay, it's obvious he's only interested in, bracket is make money. It's obvious he's only interested in bracket, make money. I can see some answers on the chat. Thank you. That's good. It's obvious he's only interested in bracket, make money. Guys, what is the correct usage of the verb?
Making.
Making, very good. Making, very good. It's correct. It's correct. Yes, a lot of answers on the chat. Making money. Yes, we understand. So what do we understand here? Is that making is a word that is formed from a verb that is acting as a noun, all right, and ending in ing. Okay. So here making is absolutely right. We'll not say to make here. Okay. Making is absolutely right. What about the next one? I'm going to type the next one. Please tell me what is the appropriate usage here. Anne or Annie, Anne couldn't find a taxi. Anne couldn't find a taxi, so I offered, in bracket, drive her to the station. Anne couldn't find a taxi, so I offered, in bracket, drive her to the station. I repeat, Anne couldn't find a taxi, so I offered, in bracket, drive her to the station. What is the correct answer, guys?
To drive.
Pardon me?
To drive.
Very good, thank you.
Driving. To driving.
To driving is incorrect. If you read the sentence with to driving, it is incorrect.
Okay.
So it could either be driving or to drive, right? So just try and understand what is a person doing here, okay? Whether the verb is acting as a noun, or is it with the word to in front of the verb, okay? So you see, gerunds and infinitives can serve as the object of a verb. Please understand that, okay? You just have to understand the context. The context. So for example, let's say in this context, what is a person offering to do? Is he offering to drive her to the station, or is he driving her to the station? What seems more appropriate? Yes, guys? To drive. Very good. I can see the answers on the chat. Yeah. To drive, right? I am driving a car and I'm offering to drive someone to the station. There's a difference, right? So I'm driving her to the station is incorrect. You offer someone to do something, right? So you offer to drive a person to the station, right? You're offering the drive, okay? All right, good answer, thank you. So let's continue. So please understand, guys, when we talk about gerunds, we use ing with words like thinking, acting, walking, talking, fishing, caring, writing, listening, okay, for example, and infinitives when we to think, to act, to walk, to talk, that is the usage of an infinitive, to or ing form, okay? One more example. Please tell me what is the correct sentence here. The next one is I managed, in bracket, book 2 seats on the morning flight. I managed, in bracket, book 2 seats on the morning flight.
Booking, sir.
Booking, sir.
Booking. Why
Okay.
booking and why not to book?
Because, sir, it is used in the gerund. Gerund.
Okay. I'll wait for some other answers. There are some answers on the chat says to book. Why to book and not booking? For those of you who've answered to book, can you type your response? Why to and not booking? Question is for both of you. For learners who mentioned booking as well as to book, why that particular answer? I want someone to answer in terms of the context of the sentence or what is a person trying to do. Okay. Anyone? Ones who've mentioned to? Okay. What if I say, I am booking a ticket, please call me later. I'm booking a flight ticket, please call me later. Is that correct? Is that correct, guys?
What, sir? Again repeat, sir.
My question is, if I say I am booking a flight ticket, please call me later. किसी ने call किया है मुझे. I'm telling the person, I'm booking a flight ticket. Let's say I work as a travel agent. I'm booking a flight ticket. Please call me later. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It's correct, right? Okay. Okay, very good. Very good. Here, what is the sentence? There's someone who's mentioned an answer. There's someone who's mentioned an answer here. Very good. To book is an action. He's showing that he managed to book. So I managed to book 2 seats is appropriate, guys. So the ones who answered 2. So here, the correct usage is the infinitive. Managed to do something. He's not talking about a continuous activity. It's not talking about a continuous activity. It's not in a continuous tense. He's simply stating a fact that in the present, simple present tense, simply stating the fact that I managed, or in the past tense, I'm sorry, I managed to book 2 seats on the morning flight. Okay. He's not talking about booking right now. So to book is appropriate in this case. Let's look at one more. Okay. Let's look at one more example. This one's relatively, okay, let's see. How many of you get this right? I avoid, in bracket, take the car whenever possible, especially in big cities. I avoid, in bracket, take, T-A-K-E, take the car whenever possible, especially in big cities. Here, there is an activity involved, right? So I avoid, in bracket, take the car whenever possible, especially in big cities. What is the correct usage here, guys? I avoid to take or I avoid taking? Understand the context, understand the meaning. How does it sound if I say I avoid to take the car whenever possible, especially in big cities? And how I avoid taking the car whenever possible, especially in big cities. Which is correct? Guys, question for you. Praveen, Vipul, Shrikant, Priyanka. What sounds more appropriate in this case? Anyone can answer, that's fine. Is he talking about avoiding in the past, or he's talking about whenever possible at every given instance?
To take.
If you read with to take, I avoid to take. Does it sound grammatically correct?
Maybe.
When you read it with taking, how does it sound?
Pretty good, sir.
Pretty good, right? So stick to pretty good. I avoid taking is appropriate, guys. So the ones who've mentioned here, I avoid taking car. So he's talking about taking a car whenever possible. He avoids that, right? Whenever possible, especially in big cities. So here he's talking about the action of taking. He is talking about taking the car, not avoid to take the car. I don't take a car whenever possible, especially I don't take a car whenever possible, especially to big cities. It's fine, okay? Or in big cities, it's fine. But here it's talking about the action. Let's do one or two more, and then wrap it up. I have a few more tricky ones. Next one. The next sentence here is, Peter was delighted, in bracket, meet a former colleague at the conference. I repeat the sentence. Peter was delighted, in bracket, meet, M-E-E-T, meet, a former colleague at the conference. Is Peter meeting someone, or he was delighted to meet someone? Guys? Do we say pleased meeting you or pleased to meet you? Charmed meeting you or charmed to meet you? Nice to meet you or nice meeting you? What is appropriate? Peter was delighted to meet a colleague, or was Peter was delighted meeting a colleague? He was meeting a colleague, that's true. However, in the context of the sentence, what is the correct answer? Yeah, to meet. Very good. Well done. Was delighted to meet. Yeah, we all agree. Good answers on the chat, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Good answer. Let's move to the next one. To meet. So Peter was delighted to meet a former colleague at the conference. Okay.
What is the meaning of delighted?
I think you're asking me the meaning of delighted. Delighted, extremely happy. बहुत ज़्यादा खुश होना. Okay. बहुत ज़्यादा खुश होना. Okay. The next sentence is, I promise in brackets send you our new brochure as soon as it's available. I promise in brackets send, S-E-N-D, send you our new brochure as soon as it's available. For the ones who've mentioned sending, read the sentence with sending and see if it makes sense. Is he sending someone, or is he promising to send someone the brochure as soon as it's available? Understand the context, the way in which the verb works. I'll throw in one more example here, just to give a reference. There's a sentence here, it says, many people dislike, in bracket, drive at night. Do we say many people dislike to drive at night, or many people dislike driving at night? Very good. Very good. Driving, right? Now understand the previous sentence. I promise sending you our new brochure, or I promise to send you our new brochure. I hope you all got that, okay? It's to send. Promise to send, okay? And the second one, the next one is driving. If you try and understand the activity as it is happening, or the tense or the context of the sentence, it's easier to know what happened, or what is the correct usage rather, okay? When we spoke about he managed to book, this activity happened. He's not booking at the moment, right? Hence, to book is correct in that context. When we spoke about Anne couldn't find a taxi, so I offered to drive her to the station. It is not talking about the action of driving. You offered to drive her to the station. In the recent sentence that I mentioned, we are talking about people's likes and dislikes in terms of driving at night. Hence, driving is appropriate. ING, the gerund form is appropriate. Okay. I hope you all got it. If we get an opportunity to do a topic on the difference between gerund and infinitive in greater details, we'll do that. It's just that that's something that I wanted you all to leave with. Basically, just practice in your free time the difference between gerund and infinitive, where we use to and where we use the ing form. In your free time, please practice that. If I have the opportunity in future, we'll discuss this in greater detail. All right. So thank you so much for your valuable time, guys. Have a nice evening. Enjoy your Sunday evening. And quickly, for the benefit of our learners who want to become pro learners, who wish to become pro learners, basically, you all need to, you're welcome. Thank you. So you all can use this coupon code. My name is Amit, and you all can use Amit10. That is a 10% discount you all can avail. Okay. The benefits of being a pro learner are immense. You can participate in the live classes like our pro learners with me on Zoom, live sessions, basically. Get invited to those. There are thousands of
Hello, welcome everyone to today's class. I hope you're all having a wonderful day and a wonderful evening, and that you've had a wonderful weekend. Welcome Himanshu, welcome to the Zoom
Yeah.
room.
Good
How
evening,
are you
ma'am.
today?
Yeah,
Evening,
doing
how are
good.
you? Good, that's great to hear. Lots of you joining in now. Welcome Anita, Shayash, you can join us in the Zoom room if you want. Divya, you can join us in the Zoom room as well. Vipul, welcome back. Great to have you back as always. Excellent, so welcome everyone today. We have a slightly different class today, not quiz questions. Today it's about using the words that you already know to describe things. And then we'll also learn some idioms and new things, but all based on pictures. Hi Vipul, welcome.
Hi, ma'am.
How are you?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are
I'm
you
great,
doing
ma'am.
today?
And you, ma'am?
Good. I'm good.
I'm doing well, ma'am.
Great. That's great to hear. So okay. Priyanka's joining us in the Zoom room now as well. Hi Pratik, I'm good, thank you. And you? Have you had a good weekend? Has anyone had anything good that's happened to them this weekend? Has it been a quiet weekend for everyone? Does anyone have anything that they want to share? Any positive news? That's always a nice thing to hear. So welcome Drav and Hassan joining. Welcome Priyanka. How are you all doing today? Welcome Priyanka. So I think this is your first time in the Zoom room. So welcome. If anyone has any questions, please ask. It can be on any English topic. It doesn't have to be about the topic that we're talking about. If you have questions that you've just been wanting to ask, that's fine. So please interrupt me. Please just unmute yourself if you have any questions at any time. Hi Sangeeta, how are you? So I'm hoping that you've all had a good weekend. It's been quite a busy weekend for many people, I'm sure, but maybe for some of you, you've had a nice relaxing time, which is great as well. Welcome back, Shailendra and Boani. Great to have you both back as always. Sidhu says, where are you from? So I'm from England. I'm currently in South Africa right now. Pratik says, today is very hot in India. Okay, so still in the evening. How is that? What are your techniques to keep cool? Do you drink lots of iced drinks? Today in South Africa, it's a bit cold. It looks very sunny behind me. You can see the sun. I don't know if you can see the sky. It's a bit too bright to see. We had a lot of rain yesterday, which is very good because we have too little rain, but it's a bit chilly because we're going into winter. So I'm jealous of your hot weather, Pratik. It sounds lovely. Amit, welcome, welcome. Yeah?
Ma'am, no, ma'am. It is, ma'am, evening or night, ma'am.
Is it still warm where you are, Bipul?
Ma'am, one problem, ma'am. Previous classes, ma'am, and I have not understand, ma'am. One problem, ma'am. What is the difference between infinitive and gerund, ma'am?
Okay, so an infinitive is the verb form when we don't change things. A gerund is when the verb has an ing at the end and it acts like a noun. So we use it in the sentence like a noun. So you can say, I like sleeping. I like sleeping. Sleeping is a noun, but it acts like a verb. Sorry, it's a verb, but it acts like a noun by adding ing. So I like, to like is the main verb in that sentence. I like sleeping, but sleeping is the thing. So I will share that on the screen to make it a little clearer. So, because that's a very good question, Vipul. Great question, thank you for that.
one more, one question, ma'am. What is connector,
Yeah.
ma'am?
A
Connector.
connector. So a connector can have different meanings. I'm not sure the meaning that you've seen it. Did you see it with an example word? So when we talk about a connector, usually it's about joining two sentences together. So you might have, for example, two separate ideas that can be joined with a linking word. So those linking words often have different names for them. Somebody might call them a connector. You could also call them different names, but the idea is that they connect two sentences together. So I'll give you an example. So we'll go back to that example with the gerund as well. So if you say, I like sleeping. So again, going back to this idea of the gerund, sleeping here is the noun, but we've made it a noun by adding ing to a verb. So it's the gerund. So let's just recap that examples of gerunds. It's when you add ing to a verb. Ing to a verb to make it a noun. So another example is eating. We have to eat. That was the infinitive that we looked at. So to eat. The bare infinitive is eat.
I am not seeing the screen, ma'am.
You can't see?
Blank screen,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, I will.
Me too, ma'am. Me too.
Okay,
Yes.
so I will reshare it. Let's try a different method. I will share it on a Google Docs. That might make it a bit easier. Okay. So I think Amit asked, what is the... I'll be answering your questions, and then we're going to look at some incredibly beautiful photos, because I think a lot of us are stuck indoors a lot and we're not seeing a lot of nature. And we're going to look at photos and think about the language we can use to describe those. So I'll be giving you some idioms to think about based on those pictures. And I want to see what adjectives you can come up with, what words it makes you think of, what proverbs maybe that you've heard. So we'll be using the pictures as a way to use the kind of language that we've already learned and learn more language. But right now I'm going to answer Bipul's questions. So he asked two very good questions. So I'm going to recap those because it's very important ideas that are worth going over, things that will help you. So these are grammar questions. So I will be going over those now. So I hope that answers your question, Amit. So Sarika says, I think you like open tresses. So we usually say curtains. Tresses are usually part of windows or doors. So you could say open curtains, open windows. Yes, I do try and open the window as much to get fresh air. So that's correct. You can say, I've never seen. So I have never seen you. Never seen it. It's still true now. Okay, so I'm going to go over those three ideas. So the two questions from Vipul and the thing brought up by Sarika. Samiksha says, where are you from? So I'm from England. I'm living in South Africa right now. Okay, so let's go over Vipul's first question. Can everyone see the screen now? It's blank.
Oh, ma'am.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but not in.
Connection cut out. Was that Vipul? What did you say?
Ma'am, this screen is, ma'am, your face, ma'am.
Okay, so you can see the blank screen. Okay, so I will put the words on. I'm good, Mademoiselle. Thank you for asking. Pratik says infinitive is, so it's not, so be able to, that's a whole phrase. To be is the infinitive, to be. So to eat, we have the whole phrase to be able to. So we add the able to as the phrase. But the thing that we change, the verb that's changed is to be. I am able to. He is able. So the infinitive part is always to be. But yes, excellent ideas, Pratik. Okay.
Yes, I understand, ma'am.
Okay, great. So you
Infinitive.
have.
I am able to eat. I am
Mhm.
able to eat. Yes, ma'am. I am able to food. I am able to listening. I am able to learning.
Mhm. So I am able to
To
listen.
learn.
We
To
don't.
learn. Yes, ma'am. I will able to. I am able to learn.
Excellent, yeah. So we never combine to do something, the verb, plus the ing form. We never do that. That's wrong. So we never say to listening. We never use that. So you can say listening, but then you would have to remove the to. So you can say listening, that's fine. I am listening. So we never combine the ing form with to. So let's recap what gerunds are. So the ing form of a verb can be two things. There are two ways of thinking of it. So you can add an ing to a verb and use it in different ways. The gerund is one way. The gerund is when we use it as a noun. So you can say eat, play, sleep. If we make those a gerund, the gerund form of all those verbs is made by adding ing. So we can do that. So you have eating, playing, sleeping. When we use the gerund, it's used like a noun. So we can use ing verbs not like a noun, but as a gerund, it's always used as a noun in the sentence. So for example, I like playing. I hate eating broccoli. So the eating becomes the noun. That's what a gerund is.
Ing form is necessary, ma'am.
Pardon?
Gerund is form is ing form is necessary, ma'am.
Sometimes yes. So when you say I like sleeping, I like, and then you're following it by the verb, but you want to explain it as a thing that you do, then you have the ing. So that's when you use it like a noun. There are other times to use ing forms of the verb, but we don't use it like a noun. So there are different ways. So gerunds are important. They're important to know. You can turn a lot of verbs into a noun by adding ing. So it's the thing. So to eat is the action. Eating is the name for the action. It's not the action itself. So we're turning a verb into a noun. That's what a gerund is. It's a noun. So it's changing a verb into a noun by adding ing. Does that make sense?
And where are used in, ma'am? Gerund form, ma'am.
So for example, I like playing. I like, I is the subject,
Yes, ma'am.
So you have the subject, like is the verb, playing is the object, but it's the noun as well. It's a noun in that sentence. So that's an example. I hate eating broccoli. Eating broccoli is the object of the sentence. I hate is the verb. So eating here is not a verb, it's a noun. So that it is important in sentences, and it is an important type of thing to know and understand. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, I understand, ma'am.
Okay, excellent. So I'll just give you a couple more examples just to make that clearer. You're welcome. So you can say he enjoyed. So enjoyed, to enjoy is the verb, watching the movie. So here, watching is the noun. So that is the difference. Okay. The other question was Sarika's. So you can say, she was asking about the phrase, have never seen. I have never seen. So we don't say I never seen. We always have the have. We always use have in the sentence because it's something that's always true. If right now you didn't see something in the past and you didn't see it in the present, it's always true that you won't have seen anything like that. So you say, I have never seen. It's always true. So that is the phrase. Yeah, exactly, Sarika. You have things like people are grappling. Yeah, they're dealing with. It becomes a noun. They are dealing with. They are grappling with. So Sarika asked about using that. Is it correct that grappling here is a noun? Yeah. They are is the verb, grappling.
What is the meaning of grappling, ma'am?
Dealing with. So these two sentences mean similar things. They are dealing with or coping with or having to experience and to endure something. So they are dealing with, they are grappling with. He is watching TV. So exactly, it becomes a noun. Excellent. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions about that?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am. Ma'am, can we say I love listening to music?
Yeah. Excellent.
So can we listening to music?
Here, to music is not about a verb. So to music, it's a different kind of to than we use with an infinitive verb. To here is used a bit like a preposition. You're explaining the thing that you're listening to. So we always say listening to. So music and listening here are still the noun, sorry. We say this is a noun clause. I love is the main part of the sentence, where you have the subject, you have the verb here. I love, and then it's followed by the object. So you can also call this the object clause. That's another way to explain it. Object clause. So this whole thing, listening to music, is the object. And we usually follow listening with to. Listening to music, listening to the radio, listening to the speech. We always follow listening with to. Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. And if ma'am, if I say I love listening music,
That's incorrect.
then is it correct?
No, it's incorrect.
That's incorrect.
Listening is
Okay, ma'am.
always followed by to
Okay, ma'am.
for every
Thank you very
situation.
much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, Vani. Great question, Vani. That's a very common doubt. So listening is always followed by to. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be listening to the radio, listening to music, listening to the lecture. So if it's something specific, if it's a one-time thing that you're doing in the moment, then we often need an article, an extra article like the radio, the lecture. But if you're talking in general to music, if you're talking about music that's happening right now, then you would say listening to the music. Are you listening to the music right now? But you would say, I like listening to music. That's in general. Yeah, so listening is always followed by to. There are some rules like that. Great question, Barney. So does anyone else have any
Ma'am?
questions? Yeah?
Ma'am, listening to music help people to cope with their stresses.
We need an extra verb. Listening to music can
Help people to cope with their stress.
So that's a perfect sentence, except for we need the can. So that's when we talked about helping verbs, modal verbs. So we talked about that in previous, was that Siradeep who answered that question? Who asked that question? Was it Subhadeep who asked the question?
Yeah, ma'am. So, ma'am, I am asking that is it a correct sentence?
So you just need to, everything else is perfect, but you need to add this word can.
Yeah, ma'am.
Can. So we looked in previous classes, so maybe you can try and watch those. We talked about modal verbs, helping verbs. So can is a helping verb or a modal verb. We need it in front of some other verbs like help. Help often needs something in front of it, such as I can help, or I would like to help. Sometimes we have to say that, or he will help. The only time that we talk about help on its own is if you talk about something you do a lot, you do in general. I help volunteer at the hospital. He helps me with my homework. But if we're talking about something that is true when we don't have a subject, like he helps or they help, when we say listening to music can help people to cope with their stress, or you can change it to helps. It helps. Does that make sense? So I think you use the verb. So you can say help, can help, or you can say listening to music helps.
Yeah. Right, ma'am.
So you're welcome. So when you use can, like the previous way, we don't change the help, like you said in your sentence, then it's fine, can help. But if we use it alone, then we have to change help with the subject, helps, because it's it, and this is the subject. Listening to music is the subject here. It's acting as a subject. So you can think of that as it. It's the same as saying it or he, she. So it helps. So we have to change that. So you have those two options. Does that make sense?
Yeah, ma'am.
Excellent. Yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions about that? So Pratik says, I like listening songs, or I like listening to songs. Which one? Yes. I like listening to songs. So that's a rule. Listening is always followed by to. I like listening to songs. That's the correct one. We always have to have the to after listening. We always have to have the to.
One
Yeah.
sentence, ma'am.
Yeah.
He is addicted to drinking. Ma'am, it is right, you're wrong, ma'am.
Yeah, correct. He is addicted to drinking. Yeah, excellent. So you have the addicted to drinking. So that works because here it's acting a little bit differently than a gerund.
Ma'am,
But that works. Yeah? Someone else? Himanshu? Yeah?
is to also follow with the watching? I mean, I like watching movies, or I like watching two movies. Which one is
Okay,
correct?
I like watching movies. I like watching. We don't say to after watching. Listening is the one with to all the time. Watching doesn't have to have that. So I like watching films. I like watching plays. So that is fine. You can say that without the to. It doesn't need the to. It's sort of to do with the type of verb it is, but you can just remember that listening is always followed with to, watching is not, reading is not. I like reading books, I like reading newspapers, I like reading magazines. So there are just some verbs that require the to, and listening is one of those. But yeah, good question. It's good to check if other verbs do that. Does anyone else have any other questions about that? Okay, excellent. So yes, that's a good example. I think it was Bipul who said he is addicted to drinking. Yeah. Here it works because of the way of the sentence. So that's a very good example. Most times it doesn't work if it's acting like a verb. So here you wouldn't have the to ing if it's acting like a verb. But here, because of the gerund, you can. So actually it's a very good topic. Maybe we'll have a look at that on one topic to look at the difference between when it's an ing verb and when it's a gerund. Does anyone else have any questions? So
yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, here
yeah?
I like to listen songs. Is this correct, ma'am? I like to listen songs. Or he is. I like to read books.
To songs. We always need the to. I like to listen to songs.
I like to listen. Oh.
I like to listen to songs. Yeah, we always need the to after listen. Listening or listen. Any form of listen as a verb needs to.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does anyone else have any questions on that? Okay, excellent. So that's a great topic. Great question, Bipul. So I think that can be a topic that we cover because there's lots of examples to do when we use ing as a noun, as a gerund, as a
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, here I would like to listen to songs. Is this correct,
Yeah.
ma'am?
Yeah, I like to
I would
listen
like
to songs.
I would
Oh,
like
I
to
would.
listen. Yeah.
Well, usually it wouldn't be a general songs. It depends on the context. If you're saying to somebody, that could be a request. Sometimes if you say I would, it's a request. You're asking someone politely if they will make it happen for you. I would like to listen to songs. Maybe they'll say, what would you like to do now? I'd like to listen to some songs right now. So we need some form of the amount because you're talking about a specific situation. So you might say, I would like to listen to some songs, or I'd like to listen to a song now. So either you're asking a request or you're talking about what you want to happen in the future. So because it's talking about something specific that you want to happen in the future, you need to be more specific about exactly what you want to listen to. Is it a song? Is it some songs? So to say I would like to listen to songs is a bit too general because it's a specific situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, excellent. Well done. Okay.
One
does
more
anyone else
sentence, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
I want to help my friend. Ma'am, it is right, you are wrong, ma'am.
Yeah, it's right. I want to
help my friend.
Yeah, excellent. So I want is often followed by the infinitive. I want to help my friend. Excellent. Yeah, that's perfect. So some verbs are followed with the infinitive. Some are followed with the gerund. It depends on the verb. Sometimes it's something that you have to learn. Sometimes there are ways of remembering it. But yeah, I want is often followed by to. We don't use the gerund form. So we usually say I want to eat, not I want eating. I want to eat. Because you're talking about the action that you want. We're not talking about the moment. I want to eat. Does that answer your question before?
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So that's a great topic to go through before. I think we'll do that. We'll cover that because there's lots of slight differences.
One more
Yeah.
topic, ma'am. One more topic, ma'am. Ma'am,
Sure.
what is the difference between finite verb and infinite verb?
Between?
Finite verb and infinite verb.
Between a finite verb and an infinite verb? Can you give me an example?
Finite verb, I want to
Come
go.
across? Have you come across it, or are you just asking about the definition?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, no, I'm not understand, ma'am. What is the difference between finite and infinite verb?
Okay, so it's a bit like, did you watch the lecture when we talked about can and could, about how can and could, you don't change the verb for subject and time? So this was what I said before to, I think it was Subhadeep who asked the question about help. So you can say, I can help. You can say listening, as the example we looked at before, listening to music can help. Or you can say listening to music helps. So whenever we follow with can, we don't change the subject, sorry, we don't change the next verb for the subject. We don't add the S, even though listening to music is like it. We don't change it for the subject. But without the can, we do. We change it to helps. So that is what finite and infinite is to do with. It's about whether the verb changes. Yeah.
Ma'am, if I say I would like a cup of tea. That is correct.
Yeah. I would
I
like
would like
a cup of
a
tea.
cup of tea.
Excellent. Excellent. So that's what I'm saying about you need it to be specific. We don't say I would like cup of tea. We would like a cup of tea. We have to be specific. I would like 1 cup of tea, a cup of tea, because it's something you want to happen. So you have to explain exactly the amount. You have to be specific. Yeah. Excellent. Well done.
Okay, ma'am.
So like I was saying before about the finite and infinite verbs, or infinite if you want to pronounce it like that, but infinite has a different meaning, so be careful. Infinite means many. You can call them finite or non-finite. That's a better way to describe them, because infinite means many. So to avoid that confusion between those two words, we can say finite and non-finite. So when you have a finite verb, it agrees with the subject and tense. So just like we had help, helps changes for the subject. It's not I help, it's it helps. So we have to add the S. So a verb like that would have to change with the subject and the tense. So you could say, he plays. Here it's changing for he. I play is the difference. If we wanted to talk in the past tense, I played. So that's one kind of verb where it does change. That's the finite verb. But then the non-finite verb is the one where it doesn't change. So it's the opposite. So you don't change the verb for the subject and tense. So you
one
could
more
use
repeat, ma'am.
Yeah.
One more repeat, ma'am. Finite verb, ma'am.
Yeah. So finite changes for the subject and tense. So I play, he plays. So we change the verb. The verb is written to show that the subject is different. So he plays, I play. It changes for the subject and it changes for the tense, because we don't just say I play if I want to talk about the past. We add ed to show it's about the past. So the verb is spelt differently for the different subject and the different tense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
So I understand, ma'am.
Okay, so let's think of an example of non-finite verbs. It's a bit difficult to think of them. You could think of something as when you're using the infinitive. So some of the examples that we've thought about, when you're using the gerund, that doesn't change, or when you're using the infinitive. So those are some examples. So like I said, so like some of the sentences we looked at, she wanted to help. She wanted to help. The to help never changes. The help doesn't change for the tense. This is past tense. She wanted, so it's the past, but we haven't changed the help for the past. It's not she wanted to help. Does that make sense? So often it's not the type of, often it's not just the verb, it's the type of verb that we're using in that moment. So if we're using the infinitive, it doesn't change. If we're using the gerund, it doesn't change. Does that make sense?
Yeah, ma'am.
Excellent.
Ma'am, similar in ma'am, gerund and non-finite infinite verb, ma'am, non-finite verb.
So yeah, the similarity is that they don't change based on the subject and the tense. She is sleeping is the present. She was sleeping is the past, but the sleeping doesn't change. So even though the tense is changing, we haven't changed the sleeping. So whenever we don't change it for the tense or the subject, we can think of it as non-finite. But in another form, we can make it finite. We can say, I sleep in the present. They slept in the past. So here, the sleep is changing. It is finite there, but as a gerund, it's non-finite. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question, Bipul?
Ma'am, one more example in non-finite verb, ma'am.
Okay. We can think about this time using the infinitive. He wanted to find a solution. I want to find a solution. So again, it's different tense. We have past tense here. He wanted to find a solution, but the to find doesn't change. I want to find a solution. The find isn't changing because we're using the infinitive. The want is changing. It is a finite verb here, but the find isn't, even though the tense is changing, even though this is past tense and this is present. But again, if we changed how the sentence is made, so if we got rid of he wanted, if we, instead of want, we just use find, it's something that's actually happened, then we could make it finite. So you could say, he found a solution. I find a solution. So again, present, it's changing. Past, it's changing. So here it is a finite verb. Does that make sense, Bipul?
Yes, ma'am. I am more example, ma'am. Finite verb, I want to go. It is right, ma'am.
Yeah,
and,
excellent.
And ma'am, non-finite verb, I wanted to go. He wanted to go.
I want to go.
No, ma'am. He. No, ma'am. One more sentence, ma'am. He wanted to go. It is non-finite verb, ma'am.
So the wanted is the finite because it's changing. So the want and the wanted is changing for the past, so it's finite. But the go is non-finite because it's not changing.
Yes,
does that make sense? Okay, excellent, great, good question. So we'll try and cover whole classes for this because these are good questions. But today I want to finish with something a little fun and looking at some really beautiful photos. But if anyone else has any other questions, please ask. Excellent. Pratik says an infinite verb in a sentence will not change. Yeah, it won't change if you change the subject or if you change the tense. Okay, so let's have a think about, I don't know if you can all see me. I think that maybe the camera's gone off for some reason. Okay. So we're going to look at some lovely pictures, and the idea is that I want you to think of the words that you can use to describe the pictures, maybe verbs. What can you explain from the pictures, and what phrases or idioms can you remember? If not, I'm going to cover some and we're going to talk about some phrases. So let's have a look at some beautiful photos. I thought it was a good chance while we're all in lockdown and at home to have a chance to look at some beautiful nature, things like that. So this is the first picture. It's quite a cute picture. It's a little animal resting on the sand. So what kind of words can you think of to describe this picture, or phrases or verbs? What is the animal doing? Does anyone know the name of this kind of animal? Has anyone seen one before? So I want you to think of using
Walrus,
kind
ma'am.
of...
Can I try?
Yeah, so someone said a walrus.
Walrus is.
That's
Yeah,
a good
ma'am.
guess. It's not a
It's,
walrus, because walrus
It
is
is a
not bigger.
seal, man.
Excellent.
It is a
Yeah.
seal.
Yeah, excellent, Subadi. Well done. It's a seal. Excellent. Yeah, it's a seal. What is the seal doing? Does anyone have any?
Ma'am, taking a nap.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
Relaxing. Relaxing is a great word. Relaxing. Any
lying
other
on,
words that?
lying on the sand.
Yeah, excellent. Lying on the sand.
Lying on the sand.
Yeah, excellent. Resting. Yeah. Any other words that we say come to mind? That means things that you think of when you see things. So we say, does anything come to mind?
The seal enjoying the sunny day.
Excellent. Yeah.
Seeing the sea.
Or ma'am,
Yeah.
taking the sun bath.
Yeah, you can say sunbathing. Often they do that to warm up because they lose a lot of energy by being in the sea, even though they're not cold when they're in the sea because they have so much fat on them, but they have to use a lot of energy to keep them warm. So when they can rest, they like to rest in the sun just to keep them warm and use less energy. Yeah, excellent. So they're sunbathing, you can say. That's what we often use for humans, but you can sort of use it for animals. Sunbathing. Excellent. Does anyone else have any other words that come to mind? Anyone in the chat? Shaib, you can join us in the Zoom room if you want.
She is sleeping beside the seashore.
But yeah, beside the sea, not the salt. So he's on the sand, but you can say he's sleeping beside the sea. Yeah.
Looking to food.
Pardon? So Himanshu, did you have something to say? I didn't hear you. Okay.
Ma'am, seal is looking to food.
He's looking full, yeah. Maybe he's overeaten. We can say if you've eaten too much food, we say you've overeaten. Maybe he's trying to digest. So that means to break up the food in his stomach. So overeaten. Or you can say overextended himself. He's done too much or he's eaten too much. Yeah, excellent. Great words, great ideas. Okay, so let's have a look at another picture. When it comes to pictures which have good idioms, we'll discuss some idioms as well. So what about this picture? Do you know what this is?
Chameleon.
Excellent.
Is it a chameleon?
Yeah, excellent, Marnie. It's a chameleon. Do you know what we say about chameleons?
Changes its color
They change
with
colors.
the surroundings.
Yeah.
They change their body colors.
Excellent. Yeah.
Changes their color with the surroundings.
Excellent. Does anyone know the verb for that?
Adaptation.
So it's an adaptation. It's evolved over time. So we say an adaptation is a general word for something that animals or humans are able to do to help them with their environment. But there's a specific word to show that you can blend in with your surroundings.
Chemography, something.
Close. It begins with a C. So it's a verb to explain that you can blend in with your surroundings. So even even in the army, things like that, people will say you wear clothes that help you do this. So it doesn't just apply to chameleons. It's a verb that means that you're blending in with your surrounding, and it begins with a C.
Ma'am, one more idiom, ma'am.
Yeah.
Alpha and omega, ma'am.
Pardon? Can you repeat that? I didn't quite hear.
Ma'am, alpha and omega.
Can you type it in the chat?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not quite sure what the word is. So I'll give you the word. It's camouflage. Has anyone heard that before? Camouflage.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Camouflage. Ma'am, army also use camouflage dress while in war.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, what I've done here. Yeah. So yeah, they use it in war. You can use it as a noun. Sometimes it's a noun to describe the clothes. So sometimes camouflage can just mean the clothing. Sometimes it's a verb. So you can say to camouflage yourself, to disguise yourself, to conceal yourself. So yeah, they camouflage themselves. So it can also mean clothing or the act of blending in, or the verb. So you can use either. Yeah, excellent, Shalendra. Yeah. So the army have camouflage. So it's that specific clothing which has green and brown that often blends in with nature. Yeah. So does anyone know sort of any, yeah?
Ma'am, they can rotate their eyes all direction and two different eye in two different direction at a time.
That's a great fact. Thank you for that, Sivadeep. It's a great fact. Yeah, it's really interesting. So they can watch two different areas at once. That's amazing that their brains can sort of process very different things happening.
And have a long tongue, very long tongue.
Yeah.
To attack their prey.
Excellent. Yeah. They attack their prey very fast, so they can just catch it. Yeah, insects, things like that, small flies. Excellent, Muskan. So you got chameleon. Yeah, excellent. Excellent, Sarika. Yeah, well done. We also use this word to describe people sometimes. You can use it as a simile. So you can say he's like a chameleon. So it's a way of explaining that someone is always changing or adapting to their environment or the people they're with. So we sometimes say it to describe the behavior of others. So he's like a chameleon, he adapts wherever he goes.
Is it a positive sense or negative sense?
It can be both. It can be both depending on the situation. So
Yeah,
you can use it in a positive way. If you're saying, wow, you're like a chameleon, it can be negative as well. So you can use it in both ways. Often if we're talking about other people, it might have a little bit of a negative, but it can be both. But excellent, great question. Okay, does anyone else have any ideas or words that they think about this picture?
Ma'am, in our language, in Hindi, we say he changes his color like a chameleon. It is like idiom in Hindi. We say it.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a really good sort of idiom to describe people. So yeah, that works as well. So it's sort of a universal. We also sort of say a leopard can't change its spots. So it's not an idiom, it's a proverb, but I think it's a bit of the opposite of this. So there's the chameleon who's always changing and adapting, and then you have somebody who can't change. So we say a leopard can't change their spots when we think somebody can't change who they are. So that's sort of the opposite. So it's expressing sort of two different ideas there, the opposite. Excellent. Okay, what about this picture? Does anyone have any words to describe this picture? It's very
small
beautiful.
island.
Yeah, excellent. A small island. Yeah. Any other words that come to mind?
Lonely place.
Excellent. Yeah, you can say lonely. Definitely looks lonely. It's not connected to anything. We have this word beginning with an R. Yeah.
Deserted place. Deserted.
Yeah, could be deserted. Deserted means there aren't people there. It looks like there are people. The homes look well kept, in good condition. So maybe it's not deserted, but it could be. There's a word beginning with R to describe that something is very separate from other areas, from other civilization or other people, or very distant, very hard to
remote area. Remote
place.
area.
Excellent. Well done. Yeah, remote. Excellent. Great vocabulary. So yeah, it could be remote. It's very distant, difficult to get to. Looks like you'd have to take a boat to get there. Excellent. Does anyone
Ma'am,
else have any-
solitary place.
Excellent. Solitary. Yeah. Great word. Great word. Excellent. Great verbs coming out. Excellent.
Ma'am,
Sangeeta
cut
says
off
it's a
from
piece-
the world. Cut off from the world.
Excellent. Yeah, remote. Yeah, you can have describe it instead of saying remote, you can use the phrase cut off from the world. Excellent. Yeah, so that's also an idiom to say something's cut off. It's separated. We often say that about sort of countries which are under dictatorships, which don't have access to the internet. Places like North Korea, we could say is a little bit cut off from the world, or maybe islands that don't have internet access. To describe them as cut off from the world. Excellent. Sangeeta says it's a peaceful place. Yeah, it does look peaceful. It's a good word. Silent. Looks like it's quiet. Yeah, Bipul, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, differences between idioms and phrase, ma'am.
So an idiom it has an extra meaning to it because there is a literal meaning, cut off. So when we talk about cutting, we think about cutting with scissors, but we're not cutting it physically with scissors. So it has an extra meaning from the words individually. So when we talk about cutting something, it has one meaning, but when we say something is cut off from the world, we mean that it's separated from the world. So a phrase is just part of a sentence.
A beautiful sight and beautiful landscape.
Excellent. Landscape, that word, yeah, beautiful landscape, describing the whole area, not just the houses, the whole landscape. It's a great word. We talk about landscape paintings. Yeah?
Picturesque site.
Pardon?
Picturesque site.
Picturesque?
Yes.
Excellent. Picturesque. When something is picturesque, it's beautiful. It looks like it could be a picture. It's so pretty you'd want to paint it or take a picture. It's picturesque. Excellent. We also talk about landscape paintings. So those are paintings of nature, wide areas where you can see the hills. Excellent. So great words. Vipul, did I answer your question about, did that make sense?
The sentences is, ma'am, idioms, ma'am. This,
so
for example,
idioms have extra meaning. So such as, it's a piece of cake.
Ma'am, for example, ma'am, tit for tat, it is, ma'am, idioms, yeah, phrase, ma'am.
It's a little bit like an idiom, a little bit. A better example is it's a piece of cake because it can have a literal meaning, which are the meanings of the words, cake, the dessert, but it's a piece of cake. All those words together as an idiom means it's easy. So an idiom has an extra meaning. You have to know what that meaning is. You can't take that meaning always just from the phrase. So that's what we mean by idiom. So I did do previous classes on that, so maybe you can go back and watch.
Ma'am, can
Yeah?
I say Vipul? Can I say something to Vipul?
Yeah, of course.
मेरे भाई जो मुहावरा और कहावत पता है तेरे को हिंदी में वही चीज होता है इडियम और फेज जो तू पूछ रहा है.
Okay. Yes, समझ गए.
Good. I'm glad that helped you. So yeah, I also did. Thank you for that. Yeah, I
Thank
encourage you to help each other. That's always great. So I did lots of classes on examples of English idioms. If you want to go back and have a look at some examples. I did some on animals and in previous classes on lots of different ones. So we'll look at those as well.
Ma'am,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Meena?
looks like a tourist. It looks like a tourist destination or
Excellent.
tourist
Yeah.
place. This
Excellent.
picture.
A tourist. Yeah. Yeah, a place that people might want to visit because it's special, because it's unique, because it has some kind of history. Yeah, excellent. A tourist destination. Okay, so let's have a look at another picture. What about this picture? What words come to mind?
People.
Pardon?
Castle.
Excellent. Castle. Yeah, does anyone know any other words to describe a castle? Or any other words for a castle?
Fort. Ma'am,
Yeah,
fort.
you have a fort or a fortress.
Fort.
Yeah. A fort is usually just for safety or security. A fortress is usually a place where you can live as well. Yeah, excellent. Any other words? What sort of time period does it look like it comes from?
Can we say, ma'am, a palace or not?
Yeah, you could. A palace is usually just...
Because it's look like a castle.
Yeah, a castle. A palace is usually just for royalty. So a place for royalty to live. So even some castles might not be royalty. They might be some kind of people with titles, but not always royalty. But yeah, if this had royalty in, then that would be appropriate. Yeah. Does anyone else have any other words or phrases that come to mind or that they think of?
Ma'am, a barking dog.
Yeah, a barking dog seldom bites. Yeah, that's an example of an idiom. Excellent. Sarika says antique building. Excellent. Tourist destination, historical building. Yeah. So there is also a phrase that you can say to hold the fort. Has anyone heard this phrase? To hold the fort or to hold down the fort? It's an idiom, but it had an original historical meaning.
Ma'am, to conquer fort.
So yeah, it's not to conquer. If you said to somebody originally when they were holding down the fort, it would mean to keep it safe against attackers.
To guard.
To guard it, yeah. To also make sure that people couldn't get in to fight against attackers. So to hold down the fort would be to fight against the attackers coming, to make sure that the fort didn't fall to the attackers, we say. So to fall to them means they could win over it. So to hold down the fort had that original meaning, but nowadays we can say to somebody, hold down the fort, even if you're in your home and you're leaving a family member and you're going grocery shopping, you can say, hold down the fort until I get back. It means take care of things until I get back. Keep things running smoothly. You could even say that to maybe if you have children and the oldest child is looking after the others, say, hold down the fort while I'm gone. It's sort of a casual phrase. It doesn't have a serious meaning. It can, if maybe you're going away, for business or something, and you want to say to someone, hold down the fort while I'm gone. It means take care of the house and everyone in it. So
everybody went for picnic, but I hold down the fort.
Yeah, you could say, but I had to hold down the fort. Yeah, you could say that, but you would have to explain what you were doing by holding down the fort. So it doesn't just mean to look after the house and by making sure things are fine. It usually means to keep everything together, keep everything running smoothly as well. So it might not just be for, you know, looking after for the house for a day. It's sort of keeping life running smoothly for everyone in the house. Does that make sense?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am.
Built by in big rocks, ma'am.
Pardon?
It's built by in big rocks.
Yeah,
It built by in big rocks.
Yeah, it's stone or rock building. Yeah, you can have stone. Yeah. You have the sort of the walkway going up to it.
Ma'am, there is
yeah.
some phrase I can't remember this. Making castle into air or in something
Making
like
castle.
into air or something.
I'm
It's
not sure
mean
there's
to make something which don't have any base, or dreaming something, making castle into air or
a
something. I can't.
castle in the sky.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, a castle in the sky is sort of an imaginary dream that's not really happening. You're sort of hoping, yeah, like you said, it's sort of an imaginary thing or something dreamlike. It can be that you're saying that somebody is sort of imagining this perfect thing that doesn't really exist. Yeah, so it can have lots of meanings. It's sort of used in songs as well a lot, in different ways. So it really depends. It's sort of one of those phrases that has been used a lot for different meanings, but the general meaning is about having dreams that aren't really reality, or something impossible, something unrealistic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, excellent. That's
One
a really
more,
good one.
ma'am.
So
One more
well
idioms,
done
ma'am.
for that.
In
Yeah.
9 days wonder.
9 days wonder.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've not heard that one before. So maybe that's new. So yeah, 9 days wonder. Excellent. I've not heard that one before. Do you know the meaning? A 9 days wonder.
9 days. It is, ma'am. Middle dark night, ma'am. This sentence is, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I've not heard it before. I'll try and do a bit of research on that. I'm not sure. But okay, that's interesting. You also have the phrase a fortress of their own making. If somebody isolates themselves away from people, they decide not to be around others, things like that, then you might say they're in a fortress of their own making. So they've sort of built a fortress around themselves to avoid interacting with others. So it's their choice to build this metaphorical fortress around themselves to prevent people from reaching them. That's another phrase. So that's another idiom. So let's look at one last picture before we finish, but I think this is something we'll do a lot. We'll come to one a bit more interesting one. So what about this one? Do any words come to mind?
City, skyscrapers.
Yeah, excellent. City, skyscrapers.
Temple.
Temple, excellent. Temple. What about, you've got the temple and then you've got the skyscrapers. What does that sort of show?
Colonization.
Yeah, maybe. So this is Thailand. Yeah, could be colonization. Yeah. So you sort of have the old and the new as well. So a temple that's been there for a long time and a new skyscraper that's been built. So you can have the traditional.
We can also see the road.
Modern. Yeah, excellent. The road. Yeah. So we have this word, the contrast, the difference between the old and the new.
Metropolitan city mean something?
Yeah, metropolitan city. It sort of means that it's a big city. Yeah, metropolitan. Yeah. Anything else that comes to mind?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, a 9 days wonder means, ma'am,
Middle of
happiness.
the city, ma'am. Middle of the city.
Sorry. Yeah, middle. Yeah.
It's
You
in
could put
middle of the
center.
city.
Yeah, the center of the city or the middle.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Crowded city.
Crowded. Yeah, that's a good word. Excellent. Crowded. Yeah, not a lot of space. Excellent. So this is Bangkok. So it's the main city. So it's very busy.
Concrete jungle.
Yeah, excellent. That's a great phrase. Excellent, Shalendra. Yeah, concrete jungle. Yeah, that's what people use to refer to modern cities because there's so little natural vegetation. We say natural greenery. So we call it a concrete jungle. Excellent phrase, Shalendra. Anything else?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, a 9 days wonder means, ma'am, happiness seems to be a 9 days wonder.
Okay, I've not heard that before.
Ma'am,
So then it's fleeting. Yeah.
Civilization.
Yeah, civilization, you can say. Yeah. So for Americans, that's spelled, the S was spelled with a Z. So you can have civilization if it's British English or civilization, American English. Yeah, excellent. Great word, Subhadeep. Yeah. So you can have modern life, sort of the idea that we live with sort of the traditional alongside the modern in cities. Things are constantly changing, but there's always tradition as well. Things don't completely change. In every city, you'll still find traditional buildings, traditional temples or traditional places of worship. So there's always that connection to the past. So that means that there's a link or there's something that's reminding us or something that's keeping us. We talk about being rooted to our traditions. Or rooted to our culture. So the idea of roots are in the roots of a tree or the roots of a plant that keep you grounded, that keep you safe, things like that. So we talk about being rooted or connected to tradition. Yeah, excellent, Ty. Excellent, Pratik. Excellent. Excellent. Great words, everyone. So I think we'll do this again. I think it's great to end with some nice pictures, looking at things happening in the world and thinking about sort of the words and the links to describe things. It's a very good exercise. Does anyone have any requests for any topics or any feedback? Did you like looking at the pictures, describing them? What do you think? Or does anyone have any questions about anything before we finish? Okay, excellent, no questions. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm not sure what's happening.
This idea is very beautiful to learn about vocabs, to improve about
Yeah,
vocabs.
I think it's a good practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when not many of us are traveling. It's nice to see beautiful pictures of foreign places or nature, just other people. I think it's a good way to finish the live classes and also just so practicing what you already know and also maybe learning a few new things as well. So excellent, we'll do it again.
I have a
Bipul has
lot
a new
of
another
that,
idiom, a rotten apple injures its companions. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have two
Yeah,
words
Bipul.
for this picture. Hello.
Yeah.
Ma'am, one is densely populated.
Yeah, excellent.
And other is high-rise building.
Yeah.
High-rise building.
Yeah, so excellent. Densely populated high rise. Yeah, so you can say high rise. That might be a bit lower than a skyscraper. It's not as tall, but high rise. It's higher than most traditional buildings. Densely populated. Everything is very close together. There's little space between
Congested,
buildings. Yeah, excellent.
congested locality.
Yeah, congested. Yeah, so congestion can be about traffic. It can also be to describe that everything's densely packed, densely populated, lots of people are living close together. Excellent, yeah. So we use a lot of these phrases to describe modern cities. So great, excellent, well done, Bipul. Thank you for that. And well done, Salendra, for your great words. And thank you everyone for your great contribution today. So everyone in the Zoom room, thank you.
Ma'am, I have a
Pardon?
lots of
Yeah?
doubts in my session clear, ma'am.
Okay. About what? What are your doubts about? Okay. So if you
Ma'am,
have questions, maybe bring them to next. Yeah.
he
Subhadeep,
said
yeah.
that he was a lots of doubt before this session, and after this session, all of the doubt is solved.
Okay, good. Oh, that's great to hear. Okay, I think it cut out for me. I don't know why sometimes I don't hear all the sound. Thank you for that, Bipul. I'm really glad
Thank you,
that it
ma'am.
was helpful. And
Thank
thank you for all of you. Thank you. Thank you for all of
Welcome,
you for
Bipul.
your great questions. Thank you, Subhadeep. It was so great to have you in today's class. And thank you to all of you for joining again who've joined before, like Bawani, Bipul, Himanshu, Shalendra. Thank you for joining. And
Ma'am, I
yes,
love
Subhadeep.
this class, but I
Ah.
can't afford every day for because of my work.
Yeah, I can understand people are busy. You can always rewatch the classes when you have time. They're always on there, but I'm glad that you enjoyed today's class. That's good to hear. So good luck with your work, Subhadeep. I hope it goes well, and I hope you get a bit of a break as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone for joining. It was great to chat to you all. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend and a wonderful evening. And I hope to see you all on Tuesday. If not, enjoy the rest of the week. Bye, everyone.